I knew you would arrive.
Bertolt Brecht was born in 1899 in Augsburg, Germany. In his youth, Brecht took to writing and social justice like a fish to water. As a young schoolboy, he heard a quote from the Roman poet Horace, proclaiming that, "It is sweet and fitting to die for the homeland." He then nearly got expelled when he called it cheap propaganda. As a young man, he began a theater apprenticeship under Max Reinhardt, before moving on to his own original plays. His first runaway hit was a three-penny opera in 1928, an adaptation of John Gay's The Beggar's Opera, a musical that focused on the struggles of lower-class criminals. Despite his success, however, he had to flee Germany in 1933 due to reasons involving the fall of the Weimar Republic. After spending brief stays in many different countries across Europe, Brecht eventually settled in the United States, where he continued to pen traditional plays and screenplays before once again having to flee in 1947 for other reasons, this time involving the Red Scare. He ultimately returned to Germany, where he and his wife ran a theater company until his untimely heart failure in 1956. Perhaps Brecht's most notable legacy was his firm belief in and practice of what he called epic theater, alongside its core principle known as the Verfremdungseffekt, often shortened to V-effect and translated as the Estrangement effect. He, much like Artaud, worried conventional plays were too easy to sit through, that escapism was nice and all, but typical plays would be too busy making audiences feel emotions to really engage with them in any kind of thought. As he explains,
Der Zuschauer des dramatischen Theaters, the theatergoer in conventional dramatic theater says, yes, I felt that way too. That's the way I am. That's life. That's the way it will always be. The suffering of this or that person grips me because there is no escape for him. That's great art. Everything is self-evident. I am made to cry with those who cry and laugh with those who laugh. But the theatergoer in the epic theater says, I would never have thought that. You can't do that. That's very strange, practically unbelievable. That has to stop. The suffering of this or that person grips me because there's an escape for him. That's great art. Nothing is self-evident. I am made to laugh about those who cry and cry about those who laugh.
Brecht wanted to remind his audience, constantly, that they were watching a play. He attempted to do this in a number of ways. Characters that spoke in third person, spoiling future events in the dialogue, breaking the fourth wall on a whim, and even printing title cards describing the endings of scenes upon half-curtains on the stage. This was the estrangement effect in action, an attempt to engage the audience in the narrative by making sure they forever keep one foot outside it. By these means, Brecht sought to use theater as a tool to help shape reality, to force his audience to think uncomfortable things about life, politics, and capitalism, by directing their focus to the text by any means possible. And regardless of whether or not he was truly successful in reaching his goal, Brecht's legacy continues to influence countless theatrical movements, even now, long after his death.
Push comes to shove, and you'll fall down from your grandstand. Join the players in the band, tootle out that melody, wait and see, and then it's all downhill. Your fall is God's will.
Thanatica, not Thanasia, Thanatica. How the hell did we not catch that in rehearsal? Same with that obnoxious shit bit. Transparently bad, need to strangle the producer.
Hey, you're up!
Oh hell, hi! Didn't see you there. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and all those who exist in between and outside. Once again, my name is Ruby Seals. Yes, that was the name I said the first time. Look it up. Check the closed captions if you don't trust me. Hi. And I'm the program director, executive producer, and lead performer here at the Codex Entry Theater Company. We are gathered here tonight to witness the grand, bloody finale of an obscure Russian play. But first, let's all make sure we're on the same page. Shall we? I trust that you were in attendance for the first part of this performance, potentially even immediately before attending this one, and if not, then go see it. What are you doing here? Get out of here, guy. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but one thing at a time. Go check out the beginning first. None of this is going to make any sense to you if you haven't seen that. Come on, buddy. Do yourself a favor. That video's a banger. With that in mind, I believe it may be prudent to have a brief refresher all the same on everything that has occurred thus far. Quick recap. We are Bachelor of Medicine Daniil Dankovsky, genius doctor, minor asshole, and surprisingly sympathetic person, at least in this route. Daniil originally arrived in town to study an immortal man named Simon Kane, at the advice of a friend and the local doctor, Isidore Barak. With any luck, Simon may hold the breakthrough needed in order to save our laboratory, the Thanatica, from the powers that be. And just maybe, in the process, perhaps discover the secret to defeating death. Starting from there, the plot is then as follows. Day 1, Simon and Isidore dead, plague's about to hit. Day 2, Sam Pest arrives, economy collapses. Day 3, climb the polyhedron, get blackmailed by cops. Day 4, infection, knife party. Day 5, meet the horospec, whoops! More broadly speaking, here's a pie graph of how we've spent our time so far. You see, we've used roughly 35% of our time trying to sidestep local superstitious nonsense in the name of saving real human lives. 50% was just dealing with the unending slew of petty bullshit that seems to eternally orbit the town's 3 ruling families. 10% of it was us getting blackmailed or doing a blackmail, to varying degrees of success. And then, you got this teensy tiny 5% fuck you slice down here. That is the amount of time we've spent dealing with the actual problems created by the plague. Oh yeah, and all of this is contained inside of a much bigger pie graph labeled miserably slow walking. Upon realizing this, you may get the nagging feeling that you are being fucked with. And that is because you are. By everyone. Everywhere. At all times. The families are fucking with you to build their own power, the townsfolk are fucking with you to their profit, the powers that be are fucking with you to their own delight, and the designers are fucking with you due to the fact that you are still here and consenting to being fucked with, because masochism is not a trait, it is a lifestyle, baby! You know, at a certain point, watching the game repeatedly kick Daniil in the dick ceases to be painful or frustrating, and starts to become just grimly hilarious. Like, what's next? Are the plague rats going to form into a kaiju and use the polyhedron to club me to death? Is the abattoir going to unhinge its maw and swallow the earth whole into itself? What else could possibly go wrong? It has been a comedy of terrible, terrible errors. As we previously established, there's no way anyone can get through this without committing to it wholeheartedly. But if you have committed to seeing this thing to the end, then you eventually have no choice but to learn how to laugh in self-defense. You can only see government leaders openly flaunt their corruption or witness the general populace sabotage themselves on the basis of fucking lies so many times before you have no choice but to bleakly laugh, if only to preserve your own sanity. It's going to keep happening one way or another, clearly, so we might as well own it. Not to stop taking the event seriously, but to roll with the punches, and take it for what it is. Because otherwise, all of this will break you. Wonder if that has any real-life relevance right now, Anyways, presuming everyone here has found their seats, I see no reason to belabor this any longer than we already have. Because you do want to know how it all ends, don't you? Well, if that's all you want to know, then in the Brechtian spirit of things, I'll tell you. This ends with the Bachelor walking through a peaceful town and curing every sick person to be found, before he meets the gods of this world. Then, a cannon fires. Many of you already know that. We'll see how precisely. I'm sure that all of you remember the content warnings from before, so please know that they are more in effect than ever. Oh wow, that one's flashing red, wonder if that means anything. Anyways, in terms of graphic violence, horrific imagery, and pure unrestrained nightmare fuel, the second half of our show is set to make the first half look frankly fucking boring. We are going to see horrors in order of magnitude worse than what came before. And remember, Willow came before. I stress to you, in the strongest possible terms, that things are going to get very, very ugly. So I pray you know that going in. The fidelity of this ugliness is going to remain pretty low by the low poly nature of the game itself, but the conceptual ugliness of some of what will be seen runs unthinkably deep. It's there for a purpose, but it is, nonetheless, there. So if you're not feeling up to seeing some truly terrible things, we understand wholeheartedly. We hope you have a pleasant evening, and know that just as before, we'll still be waiting right here if you ever change your mind. For the rest of you, though, it's time for the blood to finally spill. Welcome back to Pathologic, for those who will never play it.
Traces of the supernatural reveal themselves more often than intelligent and reasonable men would prefer them to. Chimeras, worshipped by our ancestors centuries ago, fall back into the light from ancient times. The directors of our fate rain ash down on us from the gray heavens. They conceal themselves beneath us, above us, and among us, staying hidden until we muster up the resolve to meet their malevolent gaze. Having been discovered, they appear in the flesh for a mere moment, and then they expire horribly, wreaking havoc on the world that they rightfully see as their toy.
So here we are.
So much blood was spilled.
Spilled? You mean by accident? Something you had nothing to do with?
It had to be done so that we could move forward. We're on the path to victory. Don't you agree?
We are. Now we know how to fight Sanpest for real. False rumors have been disproven. It's no demon. These are just tiny particles that die quickly if they can't bite into hot blood.
People fear Katarina's prophecy.
People only fear bloodshed when it's their blood and their shed.
Blood. Blood is nothing but a nutritional medium. He who sows blood reaps a ripe harvest.
Huh. That was an interesting play. Thanks for the show, Mark. Should go run some errands before morning comes. Welcome back to town, fucko! Say hello to day 6. Right now we're in a pretty good place, all things considered. Sam Pest is still eating the town alive, of course, as well as us, personally. But we've still got a decent chunk of change from selling out Willow, and all it cost us was our sense of self-respect and humanity. On that note, we received a letter this morning from Victor Kane, requesting an audience with us to answer some pressing questions. Naturally, we head over to say hi. See you later, Ava. Alright, Victor, I'm here. What would you like to know?
So yesterday you managed to capture this disease. Or so I've heard, anyways. The town is abuzz with horrifying rumors of people being dissected alive. Obviously, I don't believe those. The more dangerous kind of rumors are, it turns out, those about you acquiring a sample of infected blood.
Quite so. The bacterium has been caught and encased in glass. I didn't do it on my own, though. I had help.
More importantly, they say that you are now able to track down the shape-shifting disease carrier, comparing their blood to the sample you obtained yesterday.
Why are you telling me this?
A disease carrier got into the cathedral last night. Everyone inside perished. Yes, making it past your impregnable quarantine. Human or spirit, it's very clear now that this is an individual who can walk. Many people are reveling in this particular certainty.
How so?
The Inquisitor comes tomorrow. It seems to me that someone wants to dispose of several young women before his coming.
The pain is good, the pain is part of the experience, it's why I like it, I just need to know why it hurts so much. Victor reports that a woman was seen sneaking into the cathedral late last night, immediately before those quarantined inside began dying off. Word of this has spread amongst the populace, and consequently, every woman in town is under suspicion for being a plague spreader at best, or a literal monster at worst. And we know what this town does to people it thinks are monsters. Left unattended, this will most likely devolve into yet another witch hunt like day 1 before too long, which, gonna say we should probably avoid that. As such, Victor tasks Danielle with the responsibility of taking a blood sample from those pinned as the most likely culprits. Yulia, Lara, Aspity, Anna, and Clara. Each of these women stands accused by at least one of the town's leaders of deliberately infecting those in the isolation ward, and, by extension, of potentially being a Shabnakadir in disguise. Even after all we've learned, a lot of people with power are still buying into this nonsense step beast of myth bullshit, despite there being zero tangible evidence for it. But if they take it seriously, we're obliged to as well. Now the better part of this day is going to be testing blood to make sure the women aren't infected, or something even more nefarious. As absurd as it may sound though, frankly, we better hope one of them is the Shabnakadir. Cause otherwise, that means we're going to have nothing but a cathedral full of corpses to show an omnipotent and presumably vengeful Inquisitor tomorrow morning. Which, well, name one time someone's disappointed an Inquisitor and had it turn out well. Yeah. That's what I thought. Oh, hey, a letter. And it's from the youngest of the Olgimskis, Capella, asking Danielle to come speak with her immediately. Rivers of blood, huh? Feel like you're exaggerating, but also don't trust this town anymore. Well, all the accused women are safely hidden away in their homes at the moment, so should have plenty of time to get around to them. And this does sound pretty urgent on its own. Alright, kid. What's up?
The exterminators are planning to storm the termitary. Stop them.
What exterminators?
The arsonists who have been terrorizing the town. Mad fanatics gathered by Var the Usurer. He's a former fire eater or firefighter or something. It didn't take him long to gather a bunch of similarly insane maniacs. He's sworn to burn the disease out with fire.
Yeah, this feels like something we should probably look into. No amount of fire will be able to bring any real harm to the solid concrete bunkhouse, but that doesn't mean the arsonist can't still kill a ton of people in the process. Not to mention, this, feels kinda like our fault? Maybe? Just a little? Fuck! Don't look at me. This is all confirmed by Vlad the Younger, who offers a bounty for anyone who takes care of the assailants. Feeling a little slimy about all of this, but might as well get paid for cleaning up my own mess. If we're going to be dealing with the termitary, however, we should probably talk to its owner first. Hey, old Vlad, got anything you want to add to this?
For goodness sake, why don't you get back to looking for the carrier doctor? If we figure out who the bitch is...
And that's enough of that. Thanks for nothing, Big Vlad. Helpful as always, you piece of fucking shit. To hell with it. Let's head over and see what we're dealing with. A lot! We're dealing with a lot. Okay, so, this encounter is the formal introduction of a whole new enemy class, known as the Arsonists, which can and will all but insta-kill you with a single hit from a sizable range. Cards on the table. This is probably the most difficult combat encounter in the Bachelor's route if you're ill prepared for it, which is the primary reason we bought that rifle a couple days ago. Because while this encounter is technically possible with the revolver, its awful range and accuracy makes using it here largely a matter of RNG, especially if it's not in a great condition. What you're seeing right now are just some of my many attempts to do this with the pistol, of which only one was successful. It's not impossible, but it does truly suck an entire ass. This here is a perfect example of what I mean when I say that save scumming, while a valuable tool in this game, isn't as helpful as you may think. Cause sure, you can brute force your way through an encounter like this using the worst and cheapest tools in the game in order to hoard the maximum amount of resources possible, but you're gonna be miserable every fucking minute, and you will be spending a lot of real-life time trying and failing. Go through all that trouble if you like, but I can assure you that it's almost certainly not worth the time and effort it will take when compared to just handling these kinds of situations in the way they were intended to be dealt with, as resource-intensive and painful as that probably is. With the expensive rifle we bought on day 4, this encounter becomes a cakewalk, as its precision at long range allows you to score headshots from cover pretty easily. With that, it's just a matter of picking them off one by one, till only Var remains. You know, I almost feel bad for the child-murdering loan shark. Nah, I don't. Feel bad for Willow. Fuck Var. Still can't help but wish things didn't end like this, though. But hey, silver lining. The arsonists all had a ton of money on them and even some food. Plus Vlad lives up to his promised 10,000 coin payment. Definitely don't have any emotional ambivalence about profiting off of all of this. With that mess officially cleaned up, time to get back to preventing that witch hunt. Oh hey, another letter, so many today. This one's from Sticky, insisting that he's found something huge that we have to see. Well, I'm right next door at the moment, so how's my favorite little scamp? What you got? Oh, you found the Shavnak for real this time, huh? God damn it, this fucking goose chase again. I don't even know why I'm bothering to check this out. I have more important things to be doing than chasing after literal ghosts. But I just cannot say no to Sticky's level of sincere earnesty, even if I still love his cousin way more. At least it gives me a chance to get a better look at the abattoir, which is always welcome because I haven't really gotten a chance to take it all in, because dear God, look at it! When was it even made? How was it even made? What is it even made from? The texture calls to mind prehistoric pottery, as though some ancient artisan pinched, coiled, and paddled the land itself before firing it with God knows what kind of kiln. Its foundation seems to be set in the ground so deeply that it's hard not to wonder if it wasn't simply spawned wholly formed from the earth. A shrine of sorts to itself. If that is actually what it is. It's discomforting to think about. It really highlights how little we actually know about what's going on here. How little we know about the land's history. And just how impossible this whole place truly seems. It's a huge part of what makes this town feel so alien and other. This cognitive dissonance between what one would expect to find and what we actually find is, what the fuck is that? Is that a bowling pin fused with the baby from Eraserhead? What in the sweet hell are— Ow, Christ! Just approaching it hurts me? Goddamn it, fuck it, Bauhaus. What are you?
What do you want?
Who are you?
I was just searching for a body. I'm hungry. I'm tired. You don't need to hunt me.
Are you really who they say you are? A steppe creature?
Yes.
You're going with me.
Where's the girl? Why didn't she come to take me to the other side?
You mean Clara?
Do not hunt me. Feel the skin of your face. You're dying already. Go away. I want to see the little one. Where is the kind girl?
Okay, look, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do here, but this thing walks like a Shabnak, talks like a Shabnak, and I think it looks like a Shabnak? Also, just the act of being near it is causing me pain. I mean, like, a lot. Probably going to be dead in a second if I don't walk away, so, like, can't be totally sure what the best course of action here is. But it feels like it's not the worst idea to, yeah, not feeling too great about that one. But also not feeling bad about it either. Definitely a greater than zero chance that that was the source of all of this. Wait, but wasn't the Shabnak supposed to just look like a normal woman? God damn it, okay, fine. What's done is done. Thing looked like an alone executor that just got back from the most fucked part of the zone. It will not be missed. What was I doing before all of this? Right, blood. Possible witch hunt. Potential Bone Steak 2 electric boogaloo. Very pressing. Very distressing. Let's get back to collecting those samples. We shall begin with... For whatever reason, a number of particular pieces of jewelry were found alongside the bodies within the cathedral. A handful of reports insist that these goods were offered by the elusive guest after they had been deliberately infected with the sandpest. Others claim that the mob, in their terrified delirium, tore the trinkets from the Shabnak's body as she delivered plague-ridden kisses. Regardless of how they came to be left behind, however, some of Yulia's personal jewelry and clothing were still nonetheless found amongst these items. She may lack both the means, or the motive, but this evidence alone is still enough that we'll need to test her blood to be sure, if only to clear her name. Yulia happily obliges, while mentioning that she had actually gifted those items to someone who she believed would put them to good use. Who that was precisely, she's hesitant to say, since she assumes that we may very well go fucking kill them right now. Which, given our body count at this stage, kinda fair. Unfortunately, after some reassurances, as well as some mumbled hypothesizing on the possibility of a split personality, Yulia finally reveals that it was actually Clara who she gave the jewelry to. Even if Clara wanted to do this, though, Yulia can't help but wonder how anyone even managed to get inside in the first place. As an isolation ward, it should have been all but watertight, and Yulia refuses to believe that it could have been something magical like a Shabnak. So, as she sees it, there's only one possible answer.
This cathedral is damned, Danielle. Your project required a miracle to bear fruit, yet no miracle would ever happen within this empty shell of a temple. Everything that has transpired was to be expected. The cathedral was breached because there was no possibility it wouldn't happen. These circumstances were ushered in by causes of a higher order.
Interesting theory, Yulia. Look forward to hearing it when you have anything to back it up. Alright, time for the next suspect. As to be expected at this point, Lara is overwhelmingly courteous about this whole thing, offering you a blood sample before you can even finish explaining the situation. She also already knows all about the unusual items found at the cathedral, including beads of an antique necklace she used to own, which had been found in a number of the victims' mouths. How they actually got there, though, is a question that she has no answer for. As of right now, all she has left to offer are tears for the dead. And that's that. Nice to deal with someone who's straightforward and friendly. Now for the exact opposite. Hi, it's actually nighttime now because we've actually been on morphine all day to make up for the damage the antibiotics did to my liver because, in case you've forgotten, we're still super infected with the plague. The next person on the list is a local kinwoman known to the populace as Aspity, who is somehow simultaneously both the most cooperative and most combative of all of the suspects. We try to warn her of the impending hunt against her if she fails to clear her name, but she seems unimpressed.
Aspedy, you are accused of being a man-eater. They'll come for you soon.
What is a Shabnak? It's an evil spirit wearing woman's flesh over its bones. Shabnak can be detected by several distinct signs. Its arms are too long, all of its toes are of the same length, and you can see teeth peeping out from under its skin.
Whoa.
Whoa, indeed. I'm always happy to help. Want me to help you catch the monster? You're failing at this anyway. Almost a week has passed, but people keep dying, and dying, and dying, and dying.
As time passes, I still can't get used to your scorn. If the carrier is so easy to distinguish, why are they still looking for a human?
Because it's a gang of morons doing the looking. Oh, wise Bachelor Daniil. And you're the gang leader.
I do my best to avoid morons.
You are a laughing stock anyway, Doctor. Isn't this exactly what you're doing? You should be stripping them naked. Even that would allow you to catch a more faithful glimpse of reality than those lenses of yours. Tried and true. Or, oh, it just dawned on me. Perhaps this is it. Perhaps you're so angry because you don't get enough female attention.
Enough! I'm only doing all this to protect you. Now, let me take a look at your blood.
Holy shit. Good thing this game only tracks damage done to the physical body, because there's no way Daniel's emotional state didn't just get fucking devil bustered. I mean, we still got the blood sample, but Jesus, at what cost? Alright, let's cut the shit. If this sounds like anyone we know, it's definitely the child murderer. What you got to say for yourself this time, you shady silent songstress?
It wasn't me, it's Clara. It was her, it's all her doing. Even the Sabarovs have acknowledged it. They're horrified, I've been told, torn apart between affection and duty. Katerina's torn her clothes to pieces, her hair's unstrung, wallowing naked at her husband's feet, begging to spare her dar.
Clara? Why Clara?
Because no longer than yesterday afternoon, she bragged she knew a secret passage into the cathedral. Moreover, she was planning to get inside. Go ahead, find her. It's her doing. Why is it that every time something ghastly happens in this town, there's always a finger pointing at me?
Gee, I fucking wonder, Anna. Also, holy shit, wait, what? The Sabarovs disowned Clara over this? Wasn't she their daughter? Okay, that clinches it. We gotta find this girl. Still taking some of your blood, though. And frankly, you're lucky I don't take all of it. Okay, we're just gonna hang out here for a moment. So, we've got multiple people who don't have a shared interest pointing at Clara as the most likely culprit, and the town itself seems to be increasingly sure that she is exactly that. Things aren't looking great for her. Let's start by checking in with Katerina. She's Clara's adopted mom, so she's gotta have some kind of lead on... Oh! Okay. Hi? Got anything to say for yourself?
So? Have you met the changeling already?
That's really her first line, huh?
I have. Just now. Come closer, sweet girl.
Please catch this loathsome creature. She's scared of you. She knows you've already almost killed her. Help us?
Don't make me resort to brute force. I'm going to take a look at your blood now.
But you don't have a single needle. How are you going to puncture my arm?
You're right. How in the world did this happen?
I don't know. I didn't take anything. I'm not a thief. Never have I ever taken anything that didn't belong to me. But if you do find some, do come back to me. I'll be waiting. I'll show you my blood. Just catch and destroy that creature.
Okay, It's only somewhat extremely concerning that it seems like our syringes just magically disappeared the moment we needed them, but we soldier on, I guess. Katarina insists that despite how it might look, the Clara standing right next to her is not the Clara you're looking for. Rather, what Danielle pursues is some changeling that has taken up her guise. In fact, this creature was here not too long ago before being chased away, in all likelihood to take shelter in the local cemetery. It would seem that the former gravemaker's strange daughter, named Grace, has been taking care of the creature on the edge of town, and is most likely tending to her right now. Guess it's time to head all the way across town. Again. Nice to meet you, young lady. You seem very kind. Now tell me where the mass murderer is, please. It's been a long day.
Grace, does Clara have a twin sister?
Shabna Kadir's made a habit of pretending to be Clara. She came to me once, talked to me. I didn't realize it at first, and then I wondered, why was she so tall? So I looked down and saw it. She had no feet, just broken bones sticking out of her shoes. So scary. I was short of breath. I ran away, and she had such an evil scowl, laughing.
And what did she say?
Lots of things. She even mentioned you. Said she was looking for you. Said she wanted to lure you into a trap. To fool the doctor. Said the doctor's not so smart. That she fooled everyone, and she's going to fool him too. Turn his needles into hooks so he won't prick her hands.
Damn.
Oh, cool. They were friends. Sure, that ends well for me. Alright, it's just a teenage girl. We got this.
Hi, Doctor.
If you so much as move, you little tramp.
Were you looking for me? May I touch your forehead?
Clara, you are being accused of the premeditated murder of several hundreds of people. The victims are still being counted. The method of murder, deliberately infecting them via personal contact. Were you the cloaked woman that was seen in the cathedral last night?
Of course, I'm not denying it. But I was trying to help them, and I did. I've cured a lot of them, promise. I fed them water and offered gifts, because this way it was easier for them to believe, and that's very important.
Give me your hand. I want to have a look at what's going on inside you.
Yes, of course, right or left.
Clara, hey, look at me here. Are you yourself aware of what you're being accused of?
So this is true. Someone truly believes that I have brought this into the world. I was beginning to suspect.
I don't believe in mysticism. I don't believe you to be a character of fearful pagan tales. But then, tell me about your past. Where did you come from? How did you make it through the steppe? Who is your father, your mother? Tell me, and I won't have to hand you over to the Inquisitor.
You're right. The evidence is incontrovertible. Every single fact about myself that I'm positive of speaks against me. I know that I can only exist in a dying world. I know that I have no place in a world without a plague. I know all that for sure. Does that mean that I am the plague?
We'll find out in a moment.
Whew. The horror spec was intimidating yet graciously straightforward, but Christ! Trying to pin down who Clara is in any capacity has the mood of a cat trying to catch a shadow, like there's nothing there to actually grab. It's unsettling. Alienating. How do I feel like I know even less about her now than I did at the beginning of the day? Have to sort that out later. For now, I need to get these samples under a microscope. You're coming with me to Ava Yann's place. Alright, time to find out if I actually met two step beasts today. Yulia. Clean. Lara. Clean. Aspity. Clean. Anna. Clean. Clara. Clean.
I've taken a look at your blood. It is the strangest blood I've ever seen, but it doesn't contain the thing I was looking for. Could I have lost this battle?
I've mulled it over, and here's what I think. Hand me over to the Inquisitor. I'll have to talk to him anyway. You've every right to do that, don't you? And most importantly, you won't be making a mistake.
I've already told you, you're not a witch. Is my word not good enough for you?
I've mulled it over, and well, people must be right. The key to this mystery, the mystery of the disease, must have something to do with me. Even if I'm not the cause, I'll help the Inquisitor get to the bottom of all this. He'll find a way to extract the truth from me.
On a rack? No, not going to happen.
Whatever I do, I can't avoid meeting him. So why don't we just fix it so that it'll be you turning me in? That'd be a great victory for you, wouldn't it? Why are you frowning?
And what would be the value of such a victory? The real foe has not been identified yet. Or do you expect me to behave like they do? To engage in wishful thinking? Lie to everyone and to myself? Like those who are in charge of our fate and who I despise so much? No, I refuse.
After all that, fucking nothing. Let it never be said that Daniel doesn't have strong principles, though. So Clara really isn't the Shabnak? Really? Then what in the goddamn is she? What the hell am I saying? Of course she's not a Shabnak. That's not a thing, and if it was, then I killed it. Get it together. Though it is a blessing in a way, I suppose. It means we won't have to hand over anyone to the angry mob. This does mean, however, that we're going to be in for a rough time when the Inquisitor arrives tomorrow. We were tasked with curbing the outbreak and establishing the essential facilities that they'll need to get everything under control. Instead, we're going to be meeting them tomorrow with a cathedral full of corpses, no clues pointing to the culprit behind it, nor the cause of the plague itself to begin with, and a town full of political leaders who are rapidly becoming more panicked and hostile with each passing hour. We accomplished literally nothing today. This whole thing is spiraling out of control and there's nothing we can do to stop it. It's all flown out of my hands. All we can do at this stage is hope that the Inquisitor is just as capable as everyone seems to believe. And pray they're more merciful than everyone fears.
Someone could have ended up at that stake today. I was lucky to escape execution. Bachelor was noble enough to let me go.
Unbelievable. Sanpest is not a person. It's been proven. But who is the source? It's not the girl. That much is obvious.
You can escape everyone, even the Inquisitor's vengeful hand. But you can't escape yourself. The Earth Sister is breathing down your neck.
What shall we do?
It feels like the whole world is against me. I can't get this noose off. Is execution unavoidable?
Calm
Stop
down.
moaning.
You can remain a tool or become a rebel. The choice is yours. Men struggle in nooses, but puppets walk free.
that's gonna be a fucking yikes from me. We also just got a letter from the Inquisitor asking to personally speak with us immediately. We are so far! Okay, day 7, early morning. I've learned to expect every kind of hell, no matter what this unhinged puritanical zealot or this torture device of a game throws my way today, I can handle it. Okay, I don't know if I can handle dancing tragedy, and shit, I'm fucked. Alright, come on, regroup. It's just one woman and 2 mimes. We got this. Back in character. Let's go.
Daniel Dankovsky. Very pleased to meet you. It's not just courtesy, I'm speaking from my heart. I've already had the honor of meeting you, but I doubt you remember.
Let's get to the point. You wanted to hear my report, didn't you?
Indeed. Let's get to the point. Your mission was to find a certain way to destroy the enemy completely. All I had to do was implement your solution, so I've looked through your reports, and they've confirmed my greatest fear.
Yes, I've lost.
You've won. Almost. I'm very happy that you didn't find the disease carrier yesterday.
Is that so?
Events have taken an unexpected turn, Dankovsky. We have a lot to discuss and a lot to do. I'll be brief. All this time, someone has been trying to A. kill you, B. deceive you, and C. use your authority and passion for the truth to achieve criminal goals. Would you like to know more?
Well, I had a suspicion of my own.
Really? Well, that means you'd make a wonderful Inquisitor, a better one than me, perhaps. It only dawned on me how unfortunate of a role I am to play in this mission on my way here, miraculously. Here's my first question, then. For what did they hatch this plan?
I apologize. I'll do my best not to interrupt you from now on.
You came here on your own accord, didn't you? Thanatica is in ruins. Your last hope was to draw publicity, to get a sensation, find something shocking, an ostensive proof of your theory. Correct me if I'm wrong, this is all just my interpretation.
You are correct, so far.
Then you come across this allegedly coincidental letter from Isidore Burach, and here you are. So timely, isn't it? And, as luck would have it, the only local medic dies. He didn't die of the disease, did he? That's what I've been told. He was murdered. But luck is on the side of the public. You are in this remote area, and so you are ordered to come back with the shield, so to speak. Victory is the only option that's been left for you.
You're a representative of the powers that be, aren't you?
Oh, you'll find that out soon enough. Just let me compile some kind of image of you in my head, okay?
You've given yourself away already.
I haven't. It can all be a trap, a double play. We Inquisitors are quite cunning, you ought to know that. Relax. Everything I told you could turn out to be nothing more than a part of my plan. A provocation. What if in fact I'm loyal to the powers that be,
Why are you asking me?
I'm not. It's just my way of coping with grief. God, I need to smoke so badly.
Put me to the test.
Okay, a lot to unpack there, but no time to do so. The Inquisitor says that the powers that be have set us up to fail, pitting Daniel against an unbeatable foe. Which, given the last 7 days, yeah, I believe that. To further cement this point, she reveals that A, she has been tasked with preserving the town at any cost, and B, that the powers that be have deployed army detachments set to arrive in a couple days, led by the famous war hero, Commander Block. However, it's not a sanitary army he's leading, and there's only one kind of aid those with cannons and flamethrowers can offer a plague-ridden town. Though, the Inquisitor can't help but notice just how peculiar it is that 3 exceptional people have now all been coaxed, against all possible odds, into arriving at this strange place during this impossible time, each set to accomplish impossible tasks. Add to this the fact that it increasingly feels like we've been put at odds with each other with the goals we've each been assigned, and the picture only starts to get more bleak. She argues that all of this is no coincidence. You've all fallen into the same trap. What their plan is exactly is presently difficult to make out, but that, as well as any further discussion with the Inquisitor, will have to wait for later. For now, the walls have ears. An agent of the powers that be have cloaked themselves in Executor's garb. Which one it is precisely is hard to say as a result of their inherently interchangeable nature, but it has been narrowed down to 3. 1 in each major district. The Stoneyard, the Knots, and the Earth. Our job is to go collect reports from each of them, which she will use to determine which of them is the betrayer. This means walking all the way across town, which you may notice is just exceptionally fucked on this fine day. Nearly everywhere east of the river bordering the Kane's estate is either actively infected or rampant with looters after having its populace burnt out by Sampest yesterday. On days previous, it was typically pretty easy to sidestep dangerous areas with some patient routing. But we may not get many more days that forgiving. Or any. Dodging knives, Molotovs, and plague clouds is just going to be the new norm for a while. So our best hope is to just not have to walk around that much in the first place. It's a hope that won't pay off very often. Speaking of, time to walk back to the Inquisitor. Through all that shit. Again. Hate this! Here you go. Aglaia? One of them said your name's Aglaia.
Right. Let me see. Yes, that's about what I was expecting. Numbers, dates, nets. Very good. If only those seeds of truth went intermixed with so much chaff, this could give us a dramatic push in the right direction.
Excuse me?
It seems simple comparison won't be enough to figure out the false report. They all describe different things. And there might be 2 false ones. A pity. Daniel, we must hurry before they are gone. Find out which of them is which, and outsmart them.
So she wants to test our deductive abilities, huh? Okay, no issues, we got this. We'll have to walk back across town, son of a bitch, but still shouldn't be too hard to figure out. Oh hey, a letter from the Horospec, asking us to return the favor he did us with the infected heart. Luckily, his request is a lot less gruesome than ours. Seems like he's just looking for an Executor's mask and cloak. Should be simple enough, the Executor's outfits are just theater costumes, so should just be a quick trip over to Mark. And hell, may even help with finding the spy if I use it as a disguise before handing it over to Artemy. Perfect. Although, hey, wait, when did I get letters from the Changeling and Ava?
Ava stood on the edge of the balustrade. She raised her hands up into the air and stepped forward. The wind did not carry her. She did not fly. The miracle did not happen. I know why Ava did what she did. Would you like me to tell you? It is not the pestilence in the cathedral that is blasphemous. The true blasphemy is your negligence. You were meant to achieve victory yesterday. You did not. Perhaps your latest muse will do better than the late one. She was setting up the place in your heart where the new guest will stay. Put your mind to it when at leisure. Clara, the Harbinger.
My time has come. I need to purge every trace of the sacrilege. I need to prepare room and board for the new visitor. I want the miracle to happen. Farewell, my Daniel. Be happy. Everything is for the better. I never wish to die a better death. Ava.
You've come at last. Thanks, but evidently it has all been pointless. idiot.
Where's Eva? Is she alive?
No, I'm pretty certain she is dead by now. There was a mistake, it seems. A terrible mistake. Although there was reason for us to come here too. Oh, to hell with this.
A mistake? Tell me.
I received a farewell letter from Ava informing me that she was planning to take her own life at the cathedral. Convinced that a miracle would be there for her, she wanted to jump from the balustrade and fly. An insane, rambling letter, apparently written by an already deranged person.
She wrote a letter to me too. Said she was going to purify the place for a new guest. That means the place is the cathedral and the guest is a glade, right?
It makes sense. She wrote to me that the only thing she was always ready to give her life for is the cause my brother and I have pledged ourselves to. So she wanted to imbue the building with her soul. That was her personal interpretation of our cause. An interpretation both deranged and lovely. She knew how to get straight to the heart.
Don't you think it's your pride talking?
I'm gutted and turned inside out. I'm neither pious nor exceptionally moral, you know, but that's simply too much. I need to find a way to keep living and working so that Ava's death wouldn't have been in vain.
You are probably right. Let's go.
I thought she was one of my bound. There was no warning. There is no warning. This was inevitable. This was something completely out of my control. Or was it? I mean, I did everything right. I don't even know. Oh my god. I can't think about this. I literally do not have time to think about this. I was doing something. What the hell was I? Right. I was being tested, and to that end, I was getting a mask and cloak for Artemy. That would be Mark then, I guess. Yeah. Okay. I'm okay. Head's back on straight. This has just been a particularly emotional day. I'll just put it out of mind and get back to work. First thing I have to do is walk over to the cemetery. With any luck, should be able to find what we need there. Easy enough. It's not working for you either, is it? Well, that's the cloak down, but still need the mask. Time for plan B. It would seem that Sabrov's last act as emergency governor before handing over power to the Inquisitor was choosing people to handle cremations, so he'll likely be able to at least point the way. Hey Alex, you've always been a friend. Help me out?
Did you give the order to stop burying and start cremating?
Yes, as one last thing, right before handing it all to Aglaya Lilik.
And who did you appoint to manage the burials?
One Peter Stamatin. You don't know him.
You are wrong. I know him very well. I can't imagine a more moronic appointment.
From your point of view. From mine, it looks completely different. There is a cast iron logic behind this decision.
Revoke your decision! Choose someone else!
There is no person in this town who deserves death more than Peter Stamatin. Even if street murderers were responsible and ambitious enough for the job, I'd still choose him over them. I don't have to explain my choices to you.
I said, revoke it.
No, the decision is final and is not up for a debate.
We'll see about that.
Aglaya, for the love of God, I'm not emotionally capable of dealing with another one of my bound dying today. Oh my god, someone who actually helps me, I love you. You know, everyone was telling me that Inquisitors are supposed to be insidious, but so far she has been the only silver lining to this day.
You have my gratitude.
Now it's my turn to ask you a favor. It feels strange to admit that, but I actually can't achieve one of my most coveted goals in this town. Only you can help me. I've learned that Victor Kane's aloof daughter is madly in love with a certain proud fighter of death.
She is. That's news to me. At least, nothing in her behavior betrays that.
Perhaps, but my request is very important. In fact, the fate of this town may depend on it. Please, arrange for me to meet with my beloved relative. She won't refuse you.
Wait, Maria is related to you?
Yes, the most beloved of my family. But my love is unrequited. She's prejudiced against me. I hurt her in the past, and she was told terrible things about Inquisitors. A silly, childish prejudice. Now that we are both young women of a similar age, a new meeting should help wash old memories away.
How can I assist you in that?
I don't wish to force my way into a beloved person's home. I need an invitation to come in. Convince her that I mean her no harm, or just take me to her and tell her, "Here, I brought you a new friend," and then let me speak.
Very well, that won't be hard. But only if she really is happy to see you.
I'd say there's a lot to unpack here, but I'm so emotionally exhausted at this point I don't have the energy to feel strongly about anything. Let's just head across the street and ask the matriarch herself. Hi, Maria. So Aglaya's your relative, right?
Yes, she is the younger sister of my lovely mother, and there is not a single person in the world who would hate my mother more viciously than she does.
She claims to be fond of you.
She hates me for my mother's magical power. I know what she wants. She wants to see if I resemble my mother or not. Oh, she won't leave me alive. Especially now that Mother's many-coloured power has begun to awaken inside me. She'll know. She'll feel it.
She says that she had frightened you somehow when you were a child. It has to pass if you give her a chance.
No, I do not think so. Consider it a whim, but I'm incapable of doubting my premonitions, else too many people will suffer. It may be a superstition. I may be imagining all this, but I won't let her in. Ever.
You are holding a key, as if you were about to leave. Where to?
Oh no, I wasn't planning on going anywhere. Then who are you to forbid me anyway?
I am Bachelor Dankovsky, and you are not going anywhere.
Because I'm telling your dad. After tattling to Victor, he tells you that he knows Maria is planning to go out tonight, but is also well aware that there's nothing he can truly do to stop her. However, she is most likely headed to Peter's. Now, wouldn't it be interesting if someone else just happened to show up there at the exact same time? Aglaya? Hint, hint. See you there in a bit.
will never forgive you for that. You brought her here.
You shouldn't have lied to me, Maria.
Oh, how naive you were. Did you really trust her? Tell me, did she hypnotize you? Can simple trickery like that really get to you? You could have ruined us all. Or maybe you have. Peter is out cold now. But what if he comes too?
What can I do for you?
If you want to make up for it, take her away from there now. I can't do it myself. I wanted to call someone for help so that they would distract her with troubling news or something.
Okay, I'll do it. Just don't cry. Oh my god.
God damn it. I think I would have learned this lesson a long time ago. Don't get involved in the family politics of rich white women. Stupid fucking plan. Stupid. God damn it. Hi, Aglaia. What you up to?
I was just helping the owner come to. He's been telling quite compelling stories.
Such as?
Just about his works, mostly. How he breaks the laws instilled by nature itself into the fabrics of the earth. A clear-cut militant theomachist. Non-servium and all that. A curious one. Such specimens are few and far between in our enlightened times.
What does that gleam in your eyes all of a sudden?
Just thinking. Thinking how similar people's fates turn out. We've had so many bright stars of talent rise recently, you know? Almost all of them tried to single-handedly break the laws of history, nature, morality, and all treaded such identical paths.
What did you two talk about?
Just asking him about the blueprints. And he keeps saying he doesn't know what those are and doesn't want to know. Sudden memory loss. He's staring at the walls like he used to see through them before. It was a good choice to come here. Good choice indeed. He was right about to remember, but then Maria came.
What happened between you?
Just nothing much. Maria burst in, then ran out again in tears a minute later. We failed to make peace. It's a pity that everyone sees an enemy in me. Such is the bias against Inquisitors. I only wish to do good. Not specific, targeted good like that, Clara, but overarching good.
I sincerely hope so. I believe you. You fight for truth, just like I do.
Thank you. Hopefully, I won't disappoint you.
And now it's best that you leave. I'll take care of Peter.
What a fucking mess. Hey, Peter. Don't worry. She'll be gone soon. How you doing?
I had a vision, old boy. When I learned about Sabarov's secret plan and realized that death was truly knocking on my door, I had a sudden urge to quench my thirst once and for all, so that I wouldn't have to come to my senses until my very death.
You seem to have had quite a bit of success.
Soon I shall erect a new chalice. A chalice to surpass the present one many times over. Twyrene sap has taught me to look at the three common dimensions from a different angle. It turns the recipient inside out, playing with density and transparency variations. Do you understand?
Not a single word you're saying.
I'm done here. Good luck with the second polyhedron or whatever. Don't know. Too exhausted to care. Saved your life twice today. Is that worth a bird mask? Thank you. Christ, that was exhausting. But I'm glad it's all finally said and done. Also, Aglaia gave us this new gun. This one's actually pretty lit. Easily the best gun in the game. Sucks that the ammo for it is expensive as hell, so I'm never going to use it. But hey, after today I'm clinging to any W I can get like a fucking life raft. It has been rough, to say the least. But we finally have a chance to rest, decompress, and process just everything. God, what a terrible, terrible day. Wait, shit, right, the spy! Alright, here's the riddle. One executor tells truths, another lies. Another does half and half. Your job is to figure out which is which, and use that knowledge to figure out who the traitor is. First person to make an Among Us joke gets handed over to the Inquisitor as well. Going to deliberately not spoil this one because I actually think it's kind of a fun riddle and want people to figure it out the hard way. But suffice to say, while this may sound really complicated, it's actually pretty easy to solve. It's incredibly simple to tell which of the executors is the one who tells both half-lies and half-truths. And once you know that, it's just a matter of asking the others what their opinion of that executor is. Once you've identified him, the Inquisitor immediately passes judgment. Feels like a minor victory, but given that I started this day thinking that could be me, guess things could be worse. Still kinda wishing that was me, though. But, at long last, we finally have some time to get some actual rest and emotionally unpack everything that's gone down today. A moment to finally reflect on all of this, and, So let me get this straight. I just spent my whole day unmaking messes I caused days ago through sheer ignorance, while processing the grief of my partner's suicide, before discovering the omnipotent government official that just arrived from out of town is in fact yet another member of the corrupt, self-serving elite families that I was counting on her to sidestep the incessant squabbling of. All while dealing with the very real fact that the people who sent me here in the first place have set me up to fail and want me dead? Hell is real.
I know how celestial bodies work. I know the logic of numbers.
Yes, Mom.
Solid bodies drown in water. It's a law. Life breaks into particles and is reborn again. It is a law.
Do you see now how many mysteries the Earth holds? The more terrifying the mystery, the deeper it lies, and the fewer wells can reach them.
You can trick anyone but me, the emissary of the powers that be. I know how this world had been built. I know how its life works. I know the laws it operates under. It's supposed to be very simple and proportional.
True, Mom. That's what it's supposed to be.
True, Mom. That is what it's supposed to be.
So let it be. It's not the end of the world. It's just an epidemic. It's gone out of proportion. The law will prevail. I'll restore the balance. Not all is lost. I know where the root of this evil lies.
Welcome to Day 8. The Termitary has finally been opened, so guess where we're headed. But first things first, got yet another morning letter from the younger Vlad Olgimsky, asking to speak with us. Alright, Vlad, about to find out if you've been lying to me all week. What's up?
I'll have you know a certain informer of mine, a trustworthy source, despite being a worm, has told me that there's a flow of fake panacea coming out of the Termitary. I'll be honest with you. This is encroaching upon my interests, so I'm turning to you for help. This concerns you as well, after all.
This concerns me. How?
Truth is, the slime balls are backing themselves up with, yes, your own good name. They claim that the recipe is yours and even provide some proof of authorship. I don't know what exactly that is, but really, your name is actually proof enough for the general crowd. They're rather naive, and the heart incident has already become common knowledge, in certain circles at least.
What does that have to do with anything? The heart was required to extract a microbial culture sample.
Well, in any case, they're procuring live hearts, of which there's no shortage in the Termitary now, and preparing the potions right in front of their buyers. You can imagine the resulting product.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, need to get in the Termitary right now. I am not about to let the third worst thing to happen to me since I got to this town be used as an excuse for selling liquefied human organs. I have absolutely had it up to here with this shit. What's in those bags? I know. I just don't want to believe. Old Vlad, you goddamn liar. You said this was clean. This is a fucking nightmare. This is... Dear God. This is inhuman. This is mass slaughter. This is Artemi Barak? What the hell are you doing here?
I went to the abattoir and came back with something of value. Listen to me, Oinon. If my hope proves to be true, we'll have a serum by tomorrow.
That's some news. So what was that thing you came back with?
Blood. Blood again. I'm not ready to say where I got it, but it may very well be what Stock worked on, only better. It's still alive. Look if it has, you know.
What? Antibodies?
Yes, antibodies. You already know what living bacteria look like, as well as dead ones. Stock told me all about that. I think it won't be too hard for you to establish what this blood does to the infection.
So you just want me to examine this blood under a microscope? Just that?
If you study this blood, Oinon, tomorrow I'll hand you a dose of functional panacea. And if you prove this is the blood we need, might be I hand the panacea to you today. I trust your word. Is this convincing enough for you?
Are you telling me this goddamn vampy weirdo who literally just forgot what antibodies were may have just found a cure for the plague with some random blood he found inside the abattoir? Fuck it! Low stakes. All I gotta do is swing by Ruben's warehouse or Ava's... my... place. And check out the sample of whatever the hell this blood is under a microscope. Radical. Oh shit, right. Hey Artemi, you know who here's making a fake panacea? Second floor? Cool, thank you. Here we go, this looks like them. Hey! Stop making fake cures. Or else...
We're guilty. The boss's son is twice as guilty. We just fool around and mess about. He's buying up the real panacea. Bought it from everyone who got one from Barak. Took from everyone. Has it for himself. Shoot him, Oinon. Threaten him, rob him. Take his panacea for yourself. Thank us.
Vlad the Younger, you mean?
Yes, Oinon, yes. Him. The bloodsucker. Have mercy on us, Oinon. Don't shoot us slacked big folk.
Oh hey, cool, yet another reason for me to punch young Vlad in the jaw. Get explaining, scumbag. You lied just as much as anyone else.
Well, I've found the worm poison makers, but they told me that you, Master Vlad, have also dabbled in the panacea black market.
Yes, when I learned that Barak had concocted a panacea, I decided to completely seize the flow of goods. That's how the informers came to know. I requested it on purpose. Make no mistake, this isn't about greed. I simply thought it would be prudent to control this market. One would emerge anyway.
Oh, and to think I almost believed you. I even regretted thinking you a cynical man.
It seems my old reputation will take a while to get rid of. Your knowledge is outdated, Bachelor. Things have changed. I have changed. This morning, I wanted to seize the Panacea black market, so I bought up everything that Barak has made and distributed.
And?
I gave away all that I had bought. No money. Well, a little money, so it wouldn't look like I'm offering a donation. I gave it all to the bound, the ones who needed it the most, in my opinion. Those who nearly died because of me.
A little by your standards.
Not really. By common ones, I would think. By peacetime standards, even. 500 coins for a flask seems to be perfectly reasonable, especially considering antibiotics cost 2,000 or 3,000 now.
Letter from the Inquisitor. It rots from within, huh? Better take care of this. Charity doesn't fix this. We're not done here, asshole. I'll be back. Might as well duck into the still water and check out that blood sample while we're here. Why is there a pack of dog-headed children in my house? No, kid, I do not think the polyhedron has avoided infection because it's made of mirrors and is therefore miraculously reflecting the disease away. But okay. I promise to talk to Capella if it makes you feel better. Now please kindly get the fuck out of my house, children. Oh my god, can't imagine dealing with these kids any more than I already do. Seems like a fucking nightmare. Alright, now let's check that blood for Artemy. Yes, fascinating. This is definitely blood, yes. Look, I don't know what you want from me. I'm an actress, not a doctor. Well, that should check the flag for quest progress. But now it's time to go meet with the Inquisitor. Hey, Aglaia, I think I discovered something meeting the UN definition of an atrocity. How's your morning been?
The first part of this game is over, Bachelor Dankovsky. Its meaning has been as follows. The powers that be gave you a task with a catch, to learn the truth. They set a definitive condition. This truth has to be nice. Your honor and the fate of your laboratory were at stake. Would you care to learn something?
Go ahead.
Thanatica has already been destroyed. There's nothing left. The place itself is in ruins. Your research is in ashes, your papers have been burnt. Wretched Talman made sure of that personally. And now I am going to tell you about the law.
Why not? Go ahead!
In accordance with the law, the very logic of our world inevitably dictates the destruction of anything unnatural, anything that tries to break its own non-capitalized laws. The disease is nothing more than a tool. It is an instrument of inevitability.
And yet I have sworn to destroy this enemy.
Inevitability. Gruesome inevitability is our true enemy, an enemy that cannot be defeated by anyone, anywhere. The only thing you can do is get what's dear to you out of its way. Don't make enemies with inevitability.
This preaching would have made more sense before the plague. Say what you will, but fighting this enemy is my duty, as it is yours.
You're right. The second part of this game is beginning. Our current task is to remain true to ourselves. We'll keep the word we've given to the powers that be, both of us. It wasn't just you, mind. We'll uncover the truth, take a foreign detail out of the mechanism, and stop the rot before it devours this land. We only have to find out how it started.
And so we're back to the source now. Sources. It's always about sources, isn't it? We just can't get away from them. We sorcerers, if you'll pardon the lame pun, but sorcerers do not wield magic.
The source? I'll tell you where to look for the source. So you think you're well aware of what the law is, are you?
I think I am.
Well, I think you aren't. Let me tell you about the law. It is not a state law, but rather a natural one. When mysterious evil emerges from non-existence, it's a clear sign that this law has been violated. Disease is a retribution for trespassers. It is an attempt to restore balance.
I don't understand!
This town is a minuscule cosmos, and it's the cosmos for its inhabitants. It's too remote, too distant from the rest of the world to serve as an effective part of any other mechanism. So it's a mechanism in and of itself. A mechanism that has been disrupted. There must have been a flaw, a blemish, a redundant detail, perhaps. I want to find it.
Something unnatural, huh? Aglaia points out that our notes suggest the plague was spawned from below the ground. As such, she suggests we start out by checking the water sources, especially any we haven't checked out yet. Hey, I know what water source I want to check out. I'm back with a court order now, you fuck. Time to finally be honest for once in your life.
Tough luck, Doctor. I don't trust you. My confession wouldn't be of any use to you, but it could raise too much noise. You'll draw all the wrong conclusions. The consequences could be tragic, especially if the Inquisitor and the Commander get involved.
Holy shit, dude. I am so done with you right now that I've decided to fuck up your whole day in the way that you least expect. Tag teaming with someone who hates me almost as much as she hates you. Hey, Aspity, got any idea of how to get Baby Vlad to talk?
It's simple. Just reveal to the world all those thousands of lives that have perished in a few days because of him. And to think that I, a simple girl that I am, blamed the father. Shame. What a shame.
What are you talking about?
It was he who ordered to close down the termitary. He hid the truth from his father, blamed it all in some imaginary strike. He knew how to get the old man, to make him mad, to make him damn everyone inside.
Okay, Look, how the fuck do I respond to that? I'm being told this dude is effectively responsible for the mass murder of over 2/3 of a native tribe. Like, I have no idea how I'm supposed to process this, how anyone can process it. The scale of suffering here is almost unimaginable, and it did not need to be this way. I honestly feel like even trying to put words to this would be doing a disservice, because words fail it. There is no possible combination I could conceive of to properly communicate how vile, how evil this is. So, in lieu of that option, let's ask the most pressing question at the front of my mind. Vlad, what the fuck?
So, this is the person who's responsible for turning the termitary into a mass grave.
Who told you that?
That's not important. What's important is whether I'm going to relay that to the Inquisitor.
No use denying it now. I knew that the truth would come out when the termitary was unlocked. I just hoped I would have time before that. No such luck, I suppose.
So you knew that the bacteria originates underground, and you never told me?
I don't know anything for sure. Moreover, I found nothing to support that theory. The earth in the well is clean, and the deeper I dig, the cleaner and denser it becomes. Pure sand and solid white clay.
But why didn't you tell me of your suspicions?
Because if my theory proved to be correct, we would have no choice but to raise the town's residential districts, wipe out everything between the abattoir and the Gorkon.
Huh. You just gave me an excellent idea. But you seem to be scared.
Yes, you can have a sample and analyze it if you will. A sample of sand and clay. If it's necessary, I can even call my people and have them dig it up again. But honestly, you're going to need a deeper hole than that.
No need for that. How can I get into the abattoir?
Here he is. Here he comes. Listen, everyone. This is a doctor. He came from outside. Will you do me a favor?
Gladly. Will you let me into the abattoir then?
Will you bring me the person that got us all locked in here when everyone gets sick?
And what would happen to that person?
Well, I want to ask him why he had us locked up. And then ask him some more.
It doesn't take a genius to see that you're going to kill him.
No, we're not going to kill him. We'll take him.
I refuse.
If you do what I'm asking of you, I'll open the passage to the abattoir for you.
Okay, see, I'm actually really torn here. Because on the one hand, I don't want to come off as petty or vindictive or anything like that. But I can't help but notice that option number 1 seems to look a lot like... Fuck you. Fuck you. All you had to do was pay taxes, Vlad. All you had to fucking do was pay taxes. And now we're all fucking dying. Fucking peanuts off your head. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it, you fuck? Peanut. Fuck you, peanut. Fuck you. Goddamn capitalist. Fuck you. This is what you fucking deserve. And look, there's no way around it. That would be really gratifying. And yeah, they probably deserve it. But also, option number 2, let's put this in perspective. You are currently weighing the pros and cons of offering a human sacrifice to a Neolithic Earth cult's omnipotent child leader in order to open a door. So look, I'm not saying that either of the Vlads don't deserve death, or that the kin shouldn't be the ones to deliver it. But just, probably not like this. Probably? So is there anything else I can get for you, child? Left your toy in an infected house? Have no idea how that works with you locked in here, but sure, why not? I'd like to not choose violence for once. Can even swing by Capella's place on the way and see if she can make any sense of just what the hell those kids were talking about with the polyhedron. Something about it being magical or whatever.
I admit that the tower can perform miracles, but I do not believe it's miraculous by nature. It's dead, you see. It does not live. That is why it can do what it does. A living person would see just how blasphemous it is.
How in the world is it blasphemous?
Yes, the tower preserves childhood together with all its magic, but you cannot grasp a miracle and hold to it mechanically. You cannot treat the miraculous like that. A miracle can only reveal itself through a living person, like my mother, and be born of magical power, not of rationale.
So does the tower do it rationally?
The Canes have set up a seditious experiment. The Stomatans bragged that they had overcome the laws of gravity and Euclidean geometry, whilst in reality it was the Canes who took it upon themselves to attack the laws of sorcery and the miraculous powers that stumble upon our world from time to time. While the Stomatans were building ladders, the Canes were creating foci.
If everyone settled for this line of thinking, humankind would have never conquered the skies or explored the nature of flame.
I don't know. You are brave, and my duty dictates caution. It's getting more and more frightening by the minute. The reckoning is yet to come, if it hasn't already. The tower defies the very nature of miracles, you see. It imprisons them. That's why the wisest children have already left.
Interesting, but immaterial. Especially when there's a good chance the plague is coming from the earth beneath our feet at this exact moment. Plus, frankly, Danielle's right. That's the kind of thinking that strands us in the Dark Ages for eons. I see her point, but it's going to take a lot more than appealing to my sense of pity for a town full of backwards cultists who've rejected every piece of rational advice I've had to offer since day one to get me to change my mind on this. Sorry, not sorry. Now let's get that toy and be done with this day already. Yeah, whatever. The plague has lived rent-free in my body for half a week at this point. See if I give a shit. Okay, it turns out I actually have to give a shit about my health or I die. This is a real game changer. Somehow this place and the town itself already feel barely indistinguishable. Actually, before we see Taya, let's drop by Artemy first. How's my favorite flesh shaman? Happy to report that your blood is blood. Congrats! Now you promised a miracle cure? Neat! Well, someone needs to test this and I'm right here, so nothing ventured, nothing gained. Oh my god, why does it taste like Mountain Dew? Christ, that was disgusting. Definitely like 95% distilled blood, but... Oh my god. Oh my god! I'm cured! And it didn't even hurt me! Artemy, how did you do that? No, really. How did you do that? How the fuck did you do that? You barely even know what a bacteria is and somehow you just fucking cured this shit with some random blood? Look, I have plans, but we're going to talk more about this tomorrow, because I may have to be a little jealous or existentially horrified. We'll figure out which later. Alright, Taya. Here's your toy. Now, let me into the termitary, please.
I will. You'll get the rite of passage. Come back half an hour before midnight. The boulder will be rolled away.
Awesome! Thank you kindly. And that's that. Now, we wait for the doors to open to the abattoir. Still got plenty of time before that, so take the chance to stock up and, well, take a nap. Just maybe not here. Or anywhere near here. Maybe I'll crash at Yulia's. Need to make sure I'm prepared for whatever I find inside.
Do you see now how many mysteries the Earth holds? The more terrifying the mystery, the deeper it lies, and the fewer wells can reach them.
The bowels of the abattoir were turned inside out. There are beasts there.
It's filled with roots and dirt. The underground doors opens easily, but you can only go through if there's a grave behind it. Hopefully you catch my drift?
There's nothing to lose anyway. The soldiers will be here tomorrow. Let's risk it.
You're free to go anywhere. To the right, to the left, upwards, and even downwards a bit. You're welcome to make sure there are no tricks.
Who cares? It's all the same in the end.
Okay! Ow! That felt uncalled for, but I'm back now. Hello, this is day 9, I believe. Depending on how long I was out. Concussion feels great, by the way. Also, hi, nice to meet you. I believe you just saved me from getting my ass beat by literal cavemen. Commander Block, right?
I'm glad that you've made it, Bachelor Dankovsky.
What were you doing in the abattoir?
I was looking for you.
Is that so?
Ex-Governor Saburov told me where to look for you this night. I seek your advice. What have you discovered about the epidemic? Can it be stopped, and what can the army do to that end?
I never expected you to be so straightforward.
I don't want to be an arrogant fool who listens to no one courtesy of a big gun like the one I have on the sidelines near the station. You are an expert, and I want to hear your expert take on the current state of affairs.
Plenty of experts around.
I doubt it.
Do not overestimate my significance.
I feel a fighting man in you. Someone who thinks before he strikes. Someone who takes responsibility for his blows. Who chose a worthy opponent and is capable of vanquishing it. We are two warriors, and it is our task to deal with the evil threatening to spread across the whole country from here.
I am doing my duty. No need to blow things out of proportion.
A person with power who takes expert opinion seriously. Unrealistic. Well, he seems aggro yet earnest. Which, yeah, makes sense. Military hero and all. Also, Christ, my phone blew up while I was out. 5 letters just got shoved into Anniel's pocket. Points to the messenger for commitment, I guess. Let's see, 1 from the Inquisitor, another from Victor Kane, and then 1 apiece from Laura, Yulia, and Anna. All of them asking to speak with me, because of course. Alright, that's pretty straightforward, shouldn't be too much of an issue. Just a couple quick laps around town. Everything still in my inventory? Yep, cool. Seems like everything's in order. Why is it 2 p.m.? Block, why is it 2 p.m.? Wait, shit, right, sorry, you wouldn't understand that. Why is it 1400 hours? Are you telling me that fucking caveman owned me so hard I lost over half a day? This means... Oh shit. I only have 10 hours to take care of everything I need to today. And... oh god. Which one of these is the main quest? Ice Pick, which one of these is the main quest? None of these are marked. I have no way of knowing which of them to prioritize right now, and less than half the amount of time to complete any of them than normal. Please, evil Sackboy, have mercy on me! Okay, deep breath. Let's be rational about this. The Inquisitor is probably a safe bet to start with. We'll just head to her and work from there. With proper planning and a little bit of good luck, I'll hopefully be able to get through today without going absolutely feral. We got this. Let's go. Hey, Aglaia, how's it cracking? Need to find Artemy? Cool, I'm down. Needed to ask him what the hell was in that bottle from yesterday anyways. Huh, this isn't the main quest though. Surprising, but not the end of the world yet. Victor's right across the street. Let's go say hi. Praying that whatever Victor has in store isn't too stressful. Okay, so the Canes are planning on dying soon. That's cool. Well, all the Canes except Maria. And maybe Khan. Not of the Sandpest or anything like that, though. But rather it seems like Victor and Georgi are... well, They keep insisting that it's not a self-sacrificial ritual to bestow Maria with power, but it sure sounds a whole lot like a self-sacrificial ritual to bestow Maria with power, and there's clearly no way I'm talking them out of it. However, in about 2 to 3 days, there will come a time where the children have to leave the polyhedron. Otherwise, the not sacrificial ritual won't work. So someone needs to talk to Khan and convince him to order the kids out of the tower when the time comes. And he's still not letting anybody inside except you. Oh, and good news. This is the main quest. Cool. Time to climb the polyhedron again. Always enjoy the tranquil mood of hiking up this thing. It's super cozy. Except not today, because oh my god, it takes forever to climb this thing. I haven't complained about the walking speed until now because honestly, I find it relaxing most of the time. Gives me lots of time to digest all of the terrible traumas this town is putting me through. But right now, on this time limit, torture. This is literal, actual torture. That bell is going to be the shittiest kind of ill omen today. I can feel it in my bones. Howdy, Khan. We need to strike a deal. What do you want?
I need several military rifles. Ammo included, obviously.
Oh, is that all? That seems fair. I'll just head back down to town and pick a couple up. Especially since this is the main quest and it's not like I have any choice in the matter anyways. So it's all good, no worries, I got it handled. Be back in a few hours, kid. Peace. Where the hell am I going to get 5 rifles? Look, I'm still loaded, but I'm not that loaded. It took me 4 days to get my hands on 1 rifle, and now I have 9 hours to get 4. How the hell am I supposed to do this? This is absurd, dude. Cruelly, spitefully absurd. Someone is absolutely fucking with me, and I will find them. Alright, stay calm. Stay calm. There's options. The army did show up today, and they seem to have nothing but rifles. Because they sure as hell did not bring food. Fuck. We have to go run errands anyways. Let's just ask around and see if anyone has any lead. Start by talking to Laura, and work from there. One thing at a time, as always. Got this. What do you mean Laura has Sam Pest?
This person is sick. No, don't blame yourself. That's not your fault. One of your rival counterparts must have overlooked them, or left them on purpose. Nevertheless, no entry. It's under quarantine. I keep a sorrowful watch.
Who was supposed to protect you? Wiki? Hey, Clara, you suck! Well, this is what I've been saving up those schmouters for, I guess. Can't just save them for my own bound. Have to make sure everyone's taken care of. Especially the ones I need to talk to right now. So yes, here you go, Birdman. Take the schmouter. Should patch her up just fine. Neat. Glad to see you're feeling fine now, Laura. Why do you need a gun? I mean, you know, outside of the armed soldiers now roaming the streets. And the Molotov-wielding arsonists. Oh, and those fucking rats. Okay, fine, I see your point. Especially if you're willing to give me one of the Haruspex Panaceas in exchange. I hereby promise to get you a tiny gun for your tiny hands. Just like the one Clara has. Christ, everyone's ready for the shit to hit the fan. This town's going to look like Dita soon, I swear to God. Like, I get it. I'm caring too, but still. Fuck. Okay, Yulia, so let me get this straight. You want me to tell Commander Block that you are planning to kill him because Laura actually is planning to kill Block, which he's been vaguely forewarned of because a panicked Anna has sent him a letter warning that a local woman was out to assassinate him. And you want me to do all of this in order to test some abstract fatalist notion you've termed the tripwires of fate, which, I will note, you just refuse to define for me. Because I've read through this bullshit like 5 times now, and that does indeed seem to be what you're asking of me here. And that sounds like some deeply weird nonsense, my good bitch.
There's no reason to worry. This whole affair will hurt no one. Quite the opposite, in fact. Everyone will benefit from it. Everyone, including yourself. I don't really need this vial of panacea, you see. I may be very easily persuaded to hand it over.
Fine, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll tell Block that you want to murder him. Tell him you summon the Shavnak too while I'm at it if you like. See if I even care anymore. Not going to forget my payment, though. Should be able to easily swing by the town hall and deliver the... Well, I was going to say message, but it's really more of a threat. So, let's go deliver the threat to the general who saved me from getting killed by cavemen. God, this day would be so much fun if it weren't so fucked. Hey, Block. Don't have time to talk. In a real rush. But Yulia said she's going to assassinate you. Should probably have a guard keep an eye on her or something. Oh, and she's got a real devoted fan club, so if anyone else shows up, treat them with kid gloves, alright? They're delirious, not dangerous. Been a real stressful week for everyone. Trusting you. Now we just need to head over to Anna's, as much as I don't want to do that. Luckily, it's right on the other side of the river, so should have no issue getting there. Shit, had to take a detour to avoid an arsonist, and wow, this part of town is hell. That is a war crime, I think, so I'm just going to double back a bit. Okay, so I know society collapsed before, but it feels like especially collapsed now. This is an advanced kind of fucked up. Silver lining, I no longer think it'll be hard to find rifles. Alright, Anna, the trip here was a horror show, and I have no time to deal with your bullshit today, so you'd better... Oh, you want me to deliver that tiny gun that Lara needs? I mean, yeah, sure, I'll do it. Still doesn't make you anything even vaguely close to being a good person, what with the child murder and all. But if it'll make you feel any better, yeah, sure, Anna. You've successfully charmed me into not feeling completely repulsed by being in the same room as you, for today. If only because I might get something valuable out of it. So you succeeded, I guess. Congrats. We have officially reached the stage where meeting with Anna isn't the most uncomfortable thing to happen to me most days. Truly, truly dark times. We'll head back to Laura in a second, but I feel like we aren't going to be this close to Artemy again, assuming he's at the termitary. Let's go pay him a visit. Don't move. It can't see us if we don't move. Got stabbed! Okay, cool. Chugged a whole bottle of Novocaine to cope with the pain, both physical and emotional. And now we're finally on the other side of that madness, and yet somehow I don't feel any better. Also, yay, now we get to play room search again. Artemy, you here? Artemy? Artemy. Artemy. Artemy? Artemy. God damn it, I know you're here. Where are you? I don't got time for this. Oh my god, I do not have time for this. Why are there even this many empty rooms in this building in the first place? Oh, right, the mass murder. My mistake. That was deeply insensitive. Apologies. Please have some morphine. God, I'm fucking stupid. Ah! There you are, Temmie. Alright, better get back in character. You first.
It's nice to see that you survived, Oinon.
Yesterday, they attacked me like wild beasts.
They are wild beasts. Be careful with butchers, Bachelor. Life around here is different. A single person means nothing, not by himself. You aren't worth a kopeck if you're estranged from the whole.
So what, am I supposed to become one of your kin then? Thank you, but no. Aglaia Lilik has lost track of you. She asked me to tell you she was worried.
I have nothing to offer her for now. Tell her that I have descended underground. I've met with Foreman Oyun. So far, he refuses to tell me what I want to hear. I don't like his riddles and half-truths. I have a suspicion that he's a villain.
Are you going to go there again?
Yes, of course. Through that abyss lies my only way back.
Can you find something out for me? This is very important because, obviously, I won't ever get inside.
Do you need that to beat the epidemic? They told me that was the reason you went underground yesterday.
That's right.
Then speak, Oinon. In this we are on the same side.
A friend told me that the abattoir has underground passageways, which could explain the origin of the disease.
Now that is curious. Underground passageways?
That local soil has rather unusual structure. The earth has something akin to an internal crust. Even water can't pass through it. Why?
This means the disease is dissolved in the ground. Everywhere. Under our feet?
No, Vlad the Younger claims otherwise. I suspect there is a sort of shaft or cavern under one of the buildings here. Some spot where this filth is built up.
I see. I'll find out what I can, Oinon. Your words have guided me to an interesting idea.
Cool. Time to head all the way back across town to talk to Lara, collect from Yulia, and let Aglaia know that Artemy's safe. I swear to God, it feels like time is going faster, and it ain't cute! This game has officially broken my ability to trust clocks. All things considered, though, we are being decently lucky today. Seems like I'm officially on my way to having a sizable Panacea stockpile. Plus, I didn't even have to pay for any of them, and I'm still owed a couple more at that. Turns out supply and demand is a goddamn lie. Having extreme luck and privilege fucking rules. Now let's just swing by Yulia's and okay. That's a lot of soldiers. Starting to think threatening a military general with assassination might not be the key to longevity. But I, can't help but notice that those are some pretty nice rifles they got there. God, have we really reached this point? Am I really about to slaughter a small group of young soldiers, none of whom probably even signed up to be here, all for the sake of achieving my own ends? To selfishly hoard arms and curatives for those close to me while turning innocent people into corpses just so I can pluck the weapons from their freshly murdered bodies? Yes I am. Ethics died with Ava. There's no other way I'm getting those rifles. Let's fucking go! I've seen more combat in the past week than you sad little conscripts have seen in your entire lives! These punks don't even have ammo. Look at them swing their rifle butts at me. Precious. I don't even need to waste bullets on you. They got sent out to die at the hands of the proper god of this town. You all made a mistake coming here. I finally have the ability to feel like I have power over something, and I'm about to savor it. I am the one-armed scissor baby, and your lives are forfeit. You are scum beneath my heel. Okay. So, sorry about that. I don't know what that was. Definitely wasn't a fan of it, though. I got very carried away. Think that, just with the stress of, well, everything, got to me a little. But that was unprofessional. Deeply undoctor-like. And I apologize, sincerely, for my conduct. I mean, not going to reload a save to undo it or anything. Still need those rifles more than this town needs those soldiers. Sucks to suck. But, that was unprofessional. I should have been more dignified about it. And I promise it won't happen again. These are grim times. That does not mean that I need to become a grim person. Even in circumstances like this, we should do our best to remember the very real human cost we're extracting and appreciate it for what it is. Those are human lives, no more or less valuable than mine. And we should remember that. So, from here on out, we shall return to carrying ourselves with only the most refined sense of poise and rationality. Big fucking piss! Time is a goddamn lie! Okay, I got 4 out of the 5 rifles I need if we count my personal one, which I'm just going to have to. If all we need is one more, then bad grief will probably be able to suffice. I should still have time for it. Should. Hopefully. Hey, Yulia, I did your favor, and I also now believe this was all an elaborate trap. Fuck you. Pay me. Thank you. Time for Lara. Hey, girl, here's that tiny gun for your tiny hands I promised. Now please kindly give me the panacea. You've already proven you won't use it on yourself if you get infected anyways. Thanks, sis. Okay, now time to double back to Anna's. I don't have time for this, but it's not too out of the way, and I'm not about to leave a panacea on the table while everyone I know is getting infected. We'll just duck over real fast. Should be no problem. Let's go. Got stabbed again. Also, the kin got old Vlad. He's fucking dead now. No, this is not a joke. This is canon. Don't even feel bad for him. Fuck that guy. Good riddance. Anna. Panacea. Now. I don't have enough blood to be polite anymore. All I want is to chug a bottle of morphine and take a nap. Am I talking in-game or in real life? Good fucking question. Hi, Grief. I need a rifle. Yes, another one. I am being blackmailed by a child. Do not judge me. No one's having a good week. Ruby, it's 9 in the evening. Why are you in the middle of the step delivering an arsenal of military-grade hardware to a 12-year-old? Because I have lost control of my life. How the fuck is it already 10 p.m.? We need to wrap this shit up and fast. Or, at least as fast as we can, given this inhumane walking speed. Gotta get back to the stone yard as soon as I can, report to the Inquisitor, and hand over these rifles. It's like they made the microwave corridor from MGS4 into an entire game. Hi, Aglaia. No time to talk. Artemy's fine. Can I please have money? You're the best. Good shit. Now all that's left to do is... Okay, now that one I know is bullshit. There's no way it's been an hour. Gotta sprint up the polyhedron, and quick. God damn it, I'm so close yet so far, and I still need to have time to actually examine the inside of this thing. Why did Peter not install an elevator? Someone make him watch the second half of Revolutionary Girl Utena, for Christ's sake. This is torture. This is how this game turns walking into torture. Hell, it's how it turns existing, period, into torture. I miserably regret literally every single second I wasted standing still today. Shut your mouth, doghead. Let me inside. All right, kid. It's time. Here's the rifles. Hope you're happy. Now, it's your turn. Take me to the deepest part of the polyhedron. Take me inside, to the agate pit. Oh my. This is beautiful. Like, I realize this still looks like a muddy, low-res, mid-2000s PC game, and the music is definitely doing a lot of the heavy lifting here, but there's a real distinct mood here. Maybe it's because this is the first time I haven't had a gun to the back of my head all day, but something about it feels comforting. The purple and orange hues on the walls carry a strange nostalgia to them, while the platforms twisting upwards, juxtaposed alongside massive paper cranes and warm lanterns, can't help but create this almost kaleidoscopic feel of shifting patterns. There's a sense that this is a place which is not static, despite the fact that none of the lines appear to be moving. All these staircases to nowhere. Yeah, this was definitely made by Peter Stamatin. God, Capella, what were you talking about saying this place is dead? This single room has more heart in it than every cold stone in the abattoir ever could. This does, undeniably, feel magical. More magical than anything else I've seen here. No, that's not the right word for it. Something about this place feels transcendental. Important beyond just what it means for the town. And it really has kept all these kids safe. Honestly, I would kind of prefer to hang out here and unwind for a while. But need to return to the outside. Still have some stab wounds that need addressing. But first, let's finally get an explanation.
Khan, what was that?
What did you see?
The magic lantern.
Wow, that is actually a lot. Were you taught how to do that?
No,
So you didn't see the mirrors?
No. Still, where are all the tower dwellers?
What do you mean where? Behind the facets, in each other's daydreams and night dreams, oftentimes shared. Only those who have been pushed out wander the stairs.
Pushed out?
Some dreams threaten death and danger. If a child dies, they're pushed out onto the stairs. They can return in later, but it usually takes them a while to recover. And, well, some of them do return to the stairs voluntarily, unable to withstand the emotional intensity.
Are you sure you're not pulling my leg?
You're a grown-up. You will never be able to comprehend this. Adults see nothing inside. Why else would Peter Stamatin drink himself twire-eyed? This is why. He created the most magnificent sorcery there is, but he cannot see it. Can you imagine the torture he has to endure?
Yes. It's excruciating. Goodbye, Con. Thank you for bringing me back my childhood. If only for a moment. I've already forgotten what it's like.
Holy shit. It was down to the wire there, but pulled it off. This was easily the worst day so far. At least on a mechanical level. But honestly, still went way better than my first run. That one, I was so pressed for time I had to drop Aglaea's quest after I'd already talked to Artemy because I only had about 20 minutes to climb the tower and finish the quest. So lost that pile of money, which completely fucked up the rest of my run. This run was actually way less stressful. I mean, I still wanted to die every step of the way. But at least I did not cry this time. I mean, come on, look at me. I even finished with some time to relax.
My orders were to destroy every building in this town and then to shoot everyone who survives the bombardment. The military only comes when there's nothing to fix anymore. I'm keen on breaking that habit, though. I know that the people that can change the course of the catastrophe have been working here for some time. We will only destroy the thing pointed at by a healer who can argue in favor of taking such action.
How about not shooting at all?
If we don't shoot anything at all, the consequences will be devastating. You wanted freedom of choice. So choose a massive shelling or a single pinpoint strike. One way or another, we'll put an end to this circus.
Hi. Welcome to day 10. Doing a lot better now, thanks for asking. Had us a little Novocaine nap. Feeling really great now. Physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Why yes, I did finally try out some of the Twirine as well. It tasted like green licorice, why are you asking? Anyways, we got a letter from Aglaea last night. Paid her a visit on the way back down the tower. Nothing particularly interesting, but long story short, we need to get our hands on the blueprints for the polyhedron, so she can figure out once and for all what it is exactly we need to be blowing up. Luckily, I think we all know exactly who would have those. Time to pay Peter Stamatin a visit. You guys aren't Peter. What the hell do you mean Peter beat the shit out of some flamethrower troops? That doesn't sound like Peter at all, and despite what the propaganda says, Twirine really mellows you out. Trust me, I'd know. He'd never do anything like this. Huh. But it does sound like someone very close to him. Also seems like the army may be splitting into opposed factions. That's so cool, dude. Hope they stick it to the man. Wait, that would be me and Block, wouldn't it? Ah, whatever, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Anyways, let's head to the Broken Heart. I like this place less than I used to. Alright, Andre. Just one question.
Whom did you kill?
Well, you see, my dear brother is seeing pink elephants. He's talking to bottles. The conversations seem to be enlightening, too. He mostly does the listening. And so he got it into his head. As far as I understood, he decided that he was at his limit and wanted to try his luck.
Is he in a crisis? Let me guess, it started yesterday?
He's been getting uncanny ideas. He wanted to pay visits to all his early works. I mean the ugly ruins, the stairways to heaven that are scattered around town. He said he needed to find the ideal place for something. And I have no idea what he has in mind.
Oh, perfect. Exactly what I wanted to do today. Wander around the town without the slightest fucking clue of where the person I'm looking for is. My favorite. That's just goddamn peachy. Oh, hey, a letter. And it's from Katerina, and, yeah, she's right around the corner, so we should probably go check in on her. This was an elaborate ruse to get a free schmouter, wasn't it? Whatever. I respect the hustle. Here you go, Birdman.
There you are, Bachelor. I've been waiting for you, waiting to reveal to you. Nobody else knows the secret, and I never tell them. Who else could I reveal it to but you, the man that only came here for its sake? You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Who I am talking about.
Again, your words make no sense. Just like when we met for the first time.
Simon is alive! I just saw him suddenly appear at the crucible. I sense him, you know. I can't ignore it. I woke up, but the feeling refused to let go of me. He's there. He's still there. It was all a lie, an illusion. Ruby will back up my words.
You say you can feel his presence, but if Simon is alive, why weren't you feeling it all this time? Surely he couldn't have risen from the dead.
I do not know myself. I would never mislead you. Why would I? We Sabrovs are done for. We were the first to suffer Clara's punishing hand. Whoever wins, we shall never again rise from the ashes. And still I say to you, he's there. This is for you.
Simon is, to a certain extent, a concept. That much I have concluded by now. Which means your words can be taken very much as an allegory.
No! That's exactly why the case is so abhorrent. Any fancy that only has the right to exist in the realm of dreams, they give substance. It's as if they're just bringing all the solutions, all the vastness available to human imagination into this world.
What's so abhorrent about that? They deserve praise, worship even, if this is actually true.
Oh yes, look around and see the fruits of that worship. No, they have no place on this earth. I speak as a protector of the weak. I speak on their behalf. When those such as them begin to create, the weak are always the first to suffer. Everything the Canes do is a challenge, and the challenges are for the strong. How are the rest of us supposed to live?
Indeed. Wherever an exceptional feat is achieved, the dregs are forced to compare their whole lives with its greatness. Not a simple challenge.
I beg you on my knees, go to him, see for yourself that he is alive, and let the Inquisitor rend the Canes to pieces. Aglaia will be happy, because the only good thing in her is her hatred of the Canes.
Is that so? I didn't know that.
Okay, that sobered me the hell up. Hello, fully present again. Now run that the fuck by me one more time. Simon is still alive? Like, I know the families have been at each other's throats since day one, but this feels a lot more raw than the usual accusations. But there's no way in hell... No use speculating. We need to talk to Reuben.
They let me go, but it can't be. Georgie was supposed to put me to death.
Why would he have put you to death?
Why, blasphemy, of course. Or do you still not realize the fate that befell Simon?
Tell me the truth, Reuben. Is Simon alive?
What do you mean? Simon is dead. Certainly dead. Now, although he was alive for all the while he was thought to be dead.
Katerina Saparova came back from another sojourn with the spirits and declared that Simon has arisen in the Crucible. Just now. She's hysterical.
Well, Katerina is... that Clara did something to her. Took her power and her crown as a mistress. Are you certain that she said that? It's impossible. I broke Simon down into tiny particles with my own hands and turned him into the white vaccine.
How are you certain that the man whose body you took was Simon Kane?
You think I don't know what Simon looked like? You think his greatness, his noble visage is comparable to his brother or anyone else? After all, if it wasn't his superhuman blood, who else's could fight the disease for so long and almost beat it, even if it's at the cost of a little bit of lethargy? Whose? Can you tell me?
Understand that in all my time here, I have never, not even once, seen Simon. The only man I hope to meet here. I never saw him alive, never saw him dead. What did you expect me to believe?
Fine, ask the Crucible. Since they let me go, they clearly don't think of me as either a murderer or as a blasphemer. Let them explain where Simon is. I've said all I can.
Need more info now. What in the hell is going on? Georgie's door is locked. Weird. First time for that. Deeply disconcerting, but fine. What about Victor? Cool. You still here, buddy?
My consciousness hasn't completely returned to me yet. I can hardly imagine how much must have changed here since then.
I need to ask you a question.
Ask. I shall answer as clearly as I can. Do you know why ghosts always speak in riddles? It used to puzzle me. After all, I've never felt compelled to resort to allegory in order to draw conclusions from my visions. Now I know the answer. Their consciousness is fragmented.
Is it true that Simon Kane is alive?
But what do you call life?
Strange. Throughout my career, I've answered that question numerous times. But now, I don't know what to tell you.
Do you believe in the soul's immortality?
No, I don't believe in it.
Do you know of that which we call memory?
I'm not sure.
Memory is the very fine particles of a person that exist between that which is the person and all that it isn't. Some have the ability to collect those particles. For as long as a person are able to retain the particles inside themselves, the person is not dead. They remain here, but their soul is not imprisoned. It flies off to where it's supposed to be.
I understand now.
Why then did you ask me that question about Simon?
Katerina was in a frenzy. She is convinced that Simon is at the Crucible.
Ah, so that's why. Tell me, did Katerina only talk about Simon? Only him? And you say she was in a frenzy? Did she not notice the presence of another person at the Crucible? The very thought of whom should make the girl tremble?
Who are you?
You cannot know the answer to this question. Had my daughter not fallen in love with you, you wouldn't have been allowed to ask even the questions you've asked so far. Why have you come here, Bachelor Dankovsky?
I want to know the truth about Simon.
So you want to know the truth about Simon? So be it. You will. The truth is that Georgie Kane, who so ardently desired eternal life for his brother, has committed himself entirely to Simon's memory. He is imbued completely with memories of him. That is what Katerina saw, but she's very sloppy with her visions.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
So that was Nina, right? Like, beyond any shadow of a doubt, that was fucking Nina Kaina, yeah? Wait, so does that mean that... Oh, shit.
What do you want?
I just want to talk to you and ask your blessing in a certain difficult affair.
Yes, you are exactly as I imagined. My boy. When Isidore described you to me, I knew that this is the way I would like my heir to be. Alas, I have never begotten one. I'm not the first Cain to lack a son, and, regrettably, not the last.
Why?
I think this is the price we pay for leaving too much life in our wake. Life that is lush, blooming, unpredictable, and unrestrained. The soul that could have belonged to our children is dissolved in our man-made legacy.
You are a mystic.
Are you not seeing what you expected to see?
I want to know the truth about Simon Cain.
The truth about Simon Cain is the kind of truth that may only be explained to those ready to accept it. They want to know what happened to his body? Very well. Simon Cain was afflicted with the sand plague. His body has been torn into droplets and fibers. It's a pity that we now cannot produce his remains before the non-believers. What are they to find comfort in now?
I do not know. For some reason, it seems to me that this changeling, Clara, can be of help here.
Here is my final request. Tell the Inquisitor that Georgi Cain has gone insane, and that our family is in preparation for collective suicide. That should do. Perhaps she will even leave you alone for another day or two.
But that's not true, is it?
Not entirely true, but true enough to satisfy a vigorous mind like hers. Temporary lives will depart so that the eternal lives will be reborn. Go now, my boy. You're no mystic after all.
Farewell. I am glad that I did, in the end, have the chance to meet you.
I need to talk to Maria. Now. Please, 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 for the love of God, have some kind of answers.
One blow after another. Clara is becoming a mistress of the earth. A dreadful one, too. She's ruthless and cruel. The changeling is robbing us of the most precious thing. She's dousing Peter's genius. She's tempting him, sowing the destructive seeds of doubt in his weakened soul. Her rhetoric can easily drive him mad.
How can I change his mind?
Tell him that I am turning into a mistress. Tell him I can feel the scarlet lava. Tell him I am ready to accept it into my womb. Tell him my mother is looking at me now. I shall become her. I shall overcome her. And I shall build what he had conceived. That is why I'll preserve the tower. Tell him I feel he's with Andre now.
Oh, right, cool, that Peter thing is still happening. Totally didn't forget about that in the midst of talking with ghosts. Shit. Whatever she might say, I know damn well that Peter's not with Andre. Already went down that route. Right, Andre said his brother should be near one of his old staircases. Time to start poking around. Peter? 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 Peter, you in there? Come on now, this is getting ridiculous. Where the hell is Peter? This isn't Peter either, but looks important. Okay, dude, I get that the Cains have been super shady and wildly weird lately. Trust me, I am aware. But no, I do not, in fact, think that finding a bowl on a bone steak means that we should go literally tear Maria limb from limb. Holy fucking shit, you deranged mutants. Can just one goddamn person in this town have a normal reaction to stimuli for once? Jesus Christ, I'm not dealing with yet another mob today. I refuse. Block, please get someone to burn this bowl before it becomes a super spreader or a revolution. Sick of these fucking people trying to use every weird coincidence as an excuse for murder. Absolutely exhausting, dude. Now, what was I doing? Right, Peter. Now let's see. Nope, 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 nope. Fire! And someone's back there. Who's back there? Just gonna hop this fence real quick. Parkour. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Mind explaining the fire?
Send me the dark blue flame. I desire to burn down, not in earthly, but in heavenly fire. So please do bring this spicy spirit. Bring me my smoky, dense, odorous sap. I want to burn myself into Irene.
You look like hell, mate. So you've changed your mind to become the Master of Ceremonies after all. Is this how you want to die?
Silence! Listen to my confession. I'd rather confess to you than to her. Listen, and I shall tell you of what I had managed to create when I studied architecture. For the longest time, I remained passive and didn't do or make anything at all, except observations. It always seemed to me that any house is so much more than walls, a heart, and a roof.
It's hot, Peter. The story is going to take a while. Why don't you come over here?
At last, I realized that any building is an edifice, a concurrence of planes, lines, rhythms, and temperatures that can become a perfect vessel for a soul. Not a human soul, no, a bigger one. The soul that no man can communicate with yet, for it has no shape, cycle, or voice.
Are you referring to an intelligent being?
I don't know. Neither did I know or experience this soul back then. I only sensed its existence and loved it in advance. When my passion reached its zenith, I realized I just couldn't live like that any longer. I want to speak its tongue. I wanted to touch it.
Peter, this heat is intolerable. How can you stand it?
And how could I stand that which was burning me from the inside all these years? No, you're a medical man, a cynical man, a geometrician. You're not a poet. You'll never understand. You cannot see the profound. You fear death.
And you don't? On the other hand, obsession does indeed eliminate fear.
And so I gradually began to try. I started to design buildings that were no building, chambers that people couldn't live in. Everyone thought I was either a madman or a joke. Only my brother believed in me. He and the few that were privy to my secret, they knew that my designs were not intended for men, but rather for this wondrous soul.
And what came out of that?
Finally, I understood that I was on the right track. I knew I've discovered an insane but genuine feature that only a lover can feel. And I knew I was striking true. I constructed project after project, but all of them contravened the laws of earthly physics and geometry. Seems like my beloved soul was unlikely to find a permanent shelter on this earth.
The eternal curse of dreamers like you and I.
Chimeras. They were all chimeras. Nobody would have allowed me to even model them, if not for Nina the Wild. Oh, that's when my brother and I met her. She married Victor, went to live here, and provided me with everything. The place, the materials, the working hands, and, most importantly, the hearts willing to believe in miracles.
What do you mean?
I mean that buildings demand people. Moreover, they demand the people that would demand those buildings back. Museum showpieces, models, abstractions, mind games, these are all not my cups of Twirene. Nina gave me a whole living town. A town aching and craving to go heavenwards, to the stars. A town desperately hungering for a crown. The crown I've given to it.
Is that so?
I've built it from prisms and mirrors. I've managed to focus them, to capture the perfect trick of the light and dream. That's right. I'm a trick master. The ultimate magician. I've focused the aura of magic, just like a lens focuses sun rays. And now, the town is dying. Poisoning my precious wreath, my crystal bud, my focus.
So what can your polyhedron really do?
I cannot put it into words. It's only been tested by the child yet. If you asked them, they'd tell you that it brings their dreams to life, plays their games, daydreams with them, transports them into someone else's fantasies. Heard anything about it?
I have.
But the Canes could tell you even more. They'd tell you this is a vessel that can hold the most precious substance of all, the focus of a soul. Even they cannot understand what they've been granted. Neither can I, and I will never be able to repeat it. I'm dead.
So this is suicide?
Old boy, I'm thirsty, old boy. Bring me 5 bottles of Twyrene, and you can have the designs. No one would be able to decipher them anyways, and if they do, no one would build it.
Fine, I'll bring them to you. Wait for me, and don't do anything stupid. I'll be back soon.
Can't believe I'm fucking doing this, but I'm completely at a loss for any other option, so to hell with it. I don't care anymore. Let's head over to the pub and get some Twyrene. Just like every day, today's been a long day. But at least we finally have a moment to sort out just everything. So, it would appear that Simon did indeed die physically just before we arrived. However, it would seem that this was all just part of a greater plan to house and elevate Simon's soul inside of the focus created by the polyhedron, as well as Nina's, apparently. But just what the hell is their plan? Simon, Georgi, whoever, wants me to tell everyone that the Canes have gone mad and are planning to commit mass suicide? But to what end? And no, really, once and for all, truly, just what is the polyhedron? I think it's about time at long last we finally pull out that pin from day one and explain, to some degree, just what a focus actually is. In the most literal of senses, a focus is a particular kind of building capable of holding a human soul within a more abstracted, magical space it creates inside itself. How that is done and what that entails is clearly up in the air, even for the Canes themselves, which is why they seem so desperate to create another, yet have had a lot more failures than successes so far. That's what all the architects in town were brought here to build. Both Peter and Andre with their mysterious staircases, and that elusive third architect who designed the Stillwater and Cathedral. However, it would seem that only the polyhedron and its arcane construction is the only success they've had so far, alongside the Canes' own, presumably ancient, crucible. Though that face in the cathedral does beg a couple questions, doesn't it? If all of this still sounds kind of vague, shouldn't be surprised. Where do you think we are right now? Still, there are bigger questions at play. What's the Canes' plan? Just what kind of future are they hoping to guide this town towards? And is there any possible way it could be worse than its present? There's also a very real possibility that this is what Ava was trying to accomplish with her sacrifice, offering her soul to the cathedral in an attempt to officially christen it as a focus. Would explain what she meant by preparing it. But for what? For Simon? For the Inquisitor? For me? Don't like any of this. No matter what, though, one thing is increasingly clear. Any future worth having here is going to require the polyhedron. Without question. Still the only place untouched by the plague. Still the only thing in town that feels like it has any kind of future. Still the only thing here that can be saved. Or at least is still worth saving. The Canes may be shady, but they're the only ones left I see with a plan. Or indeed, any power at all. Anything else would be dooming this town to complete oblivion or to linger in antiquity, which we already know from all we've seen are effectively the same fate. Fucking bone steak. This place needs some kind of vision for the future, and as untrustworthy as they are, I'm only seeing one real option at hand. And honestly, if the polyhedron is just as miraculous as everyone keeps insisting it is, then it could be a wise option. Perhaps, if the Canes are as brilliant as they seem, even a utopian choice. God willing. Here you go, Peter. Just fucking drink them, please? Please? At least give me the plans for the polyhedron? Cool. Fuck. I'm so exhausted. Let's get back to Aglaia.
Here are the blueprints. Hopefully you'll treat them with utmost care. They will probably become a bibliographical rarity even before the author passes away.
That's out of the question. From what I know about the author, he doesn't have much time left. A wild lifestyle, heightened anxiety, alcohol and hallucinogen addiction, obsessive phobias, remarkably intensive neural stress.
And yet, you were implying something else when mentioning his short lifespan.
What? No. As you are probably aware, yesterday I took that young man under my protection and averted a threat to him. Admittedly, I also implied that people like him are always in danger. Always. Tell me, how long have you known that man?
His brother and I were peers, back when we were in university.
Has he ever told you of the similarities the two of you bear? That you could end up in a position similar to his, and vice versa? That being an inevitable victim of circumstance is the only fate available to a genius? I ask you to be precise. A lot of things hinge on your answer.
That was a disturbing question. No, he never said that.
Well, let us take a look at the blueprints then. What do you think?
What do I think? It's an absolute masterpiece.
Is that what you think? Well, I'll have a look. Go now, and only come back here after a while. Preferably tomorrow.
One more day down, only 2 more to go. All we can do now is wait for Aglaia to render her verdict on the blueprints. Still a lot of daylight left. Perfect chance to get some trash can foraging done. Buy some food. Maybe get lucky and find a kid with a schmouder I can trade with. We'll definitely be needing everything I can get my hands on. Can already tell. Tomorrow's going to be a big day.
The law of gravity is tragically incompatible with dream catching. Illusions have to be let go of in good time.
There is a tricky way to save the specular tower, but there will be casualties. What do you say?
The law demands that we remain silent, as if there's nothing to save but this ridiculous tower.
There is another tricky way. It allows for saving the town of men, but it also requires a sacrifice to be made. What do you say?
The law is impartial. The choice is yours.
Is there an alternative way to subvert your ridiculously unfair law?
We're just doing our job. Why all the fuss? You've got time. Live some more.
Finally here. Day 11. The last day for us to truly make a difference. First things first, though. Still pretty early in the morning, only like 2 a.m. But I'm already rested and eager to find out what Aglaia makes of those blueprints we got yesterday. And, by extension, what she makes of the polyhedron itself. Let's go hear the verdict.
I have studied the blueprints of this specular edifice. It's a very suspicious building, let me tell you. It's actually not a building at all, it's a machine. The only thing that I cannot understand is how it is mounted. Its nature disallows it from being fixed in place. It works like a gyro.
Indeed, a very spot-on description.
What do you think about it?
I feel slightly envious. Like me, its creator has tried to break through to where men are not allowed. But unlike me, he succeeded.
I feel that the cause of the epidemic has something to do with it. I don't like the fact that solid ground supports a construction like this despite the law of gravity. I want to know how they managed to mount it. By answering that question, we will find out where the plague came from.
Are you sure? I have no doubt the polyhedron has nothing to do with the epidemic. It's a masterpiece.
So what? It is indeed a masterpiece. It is entirely possible that humankind won't ever create anything to rival it. It's more than a masterpiece, it's a revolution. This construction is no less a breakthrough than Starflight.
I believe they're incompatible, this edifice and the plague. The polyhedron has been reliably protecting everyone who tried to hide inside from the epidemic.
Trust my guts, Bachelor. I want to know the truth.
So do I, believe me.
It's really starting to feel like Aglaia is leaning towards the polyhedron as the cause of the plague. But given all we've seen, that's exceptionally hard to buy into. I mean, are we really to believe that the one undeniably magical thing in this town, the one thing that has managed to keep anyone at all safe, the one thing that beyond a shadow of a doubt is worth preserving, the one thing that would hurt the Canes, the only group of people the Inquisitor seems to have a checkered history with? That's just speculation for the moment, though. Let's see how the rest of the day goes and just keep that in mind. Either way, feels like something which both the Stomatans would have strong opinions on, presuming both are still alive. We'll check on the one who wasn't wreathed in flames yesterday first. Andre has to know something about the polyhedron. It may be Peter's baby first and foremost, but his brother is an architect too, and a genius one at that. He's more than just some random thug, and given the state we left Peter in yesterday, feels like Andre may be in a better condition to give us the kind of info we're looking for. What do you mean they took Andre in front of a firing squad? Just what the hell? Oh right, he murdered the soldiers yesterday. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Piss. Okay, plan B. Hey Peter, glad to see you didn't self-immolate yesterday. Proud of you. Now can I please get your thoughts on, well, everything? The Canes, the tower, the looming bombardment, the fact that your brother's about to be turned into Swiss cheese. Any of that?
Do you believe in the existence of the immortal soul?
I do.
It just so happens that Maria believes in it fervently. Khan fancies my creation, but he only sees optical tricks in it and is reluctant to admit to its other qualities. But Maria believes that the polyhedron can hold to the glint of a deceased person's soul. The Canes call it memory.
She wants to lodge Simon's soul into the polyhedron.
Repeatedly reflected by reflections of reflections disconnected from the ground, endlessly soaring between the firmament and the void. Yes, the polyhedron was intended for Simon. It will become a shrine for the Canes, a shrine where they'll be able to turn to him for advice to prepare for their future achievements.
What does it mean?
A man, in fact, is not the master of his inspiration. Inspiration is sent from above. It just so happened that all these years it has been coming from Simon, and from Nina, of course. I have a feeling that Maria has successfully executed an intricate scheme. Involuntarily, perhaps, but what's done is done.
I hope you're not suggesting that she had eliminated her seniors to grab power.
The senior Canes are no more. They've spent their whole life forced to hold on to the memory of their beloved departed, the memory that has no focus, because of us. Both of them are merely bodies now, inhabited by different souls.
While this is all very fascinating and terrifying, it's also not much I didn't figure out yesterday and completely tangential to the info we actually need right now. Your brother is about to be shot! Peter probably should have kept a focus for himself so he can stay on topic, am I right? Yes, thank you. You're too kind. I'll be taking autographs in the lobby after the show. Given that Andre was picked up by the military, I think we know who we actually need to talk to. Let's go see Block. What in the Sam fucking hell are you doing here, Clara? Don't have time for this right now, but you better believe I'll be back to figure out what all of this is, because I do not like seeing you this close to someone with their finger on the trigger. Yes. Speaking of which, what do you mean you weren't responsible for Andre being sent in front of the firing squad? You're the commander. Aren't you in charge? Oh, right. That factional split from yesterday. Which means the coup actually took off. Great. Fucking great. Exactly what this town needed. A minor civil war. Cool. Officially convinced the air here is evil. Which scans because all of this goddamn twiring has left my metabolism in shambles. Which, now that I think about it, is probably in no small part responsible for the economic collapse. If everyone's been as desperate for food as I've been. And if the plague is actually seeping out from the earth, is this land even fit for humans to live on? One thing at a time, though. First, we need to save Andre. Which means it's time to go talk to the insurrectionary firing squad. This suddenly feels a lot more intimidating when I put all the words together like that. Oh, cool, they aim at my face on sight. Splendid.
I'm not an architect, I'm a bachelor. But this is absolutely absurd. Wait, I'm not the person you were going to shoot. I'm actually quite intrigued by your own vial.
Oh, God, my bones. God damn it. Ow. Okay, no, for real. How many times am I going to get my ass beat this week? It's fucking absurd. But hey, at least it didn't kill me. Why do I hear combat music? Dogs! Dogs! Oh God, why dogs? Good girl, heal, heal! Please, I'm just trying to heal, I beg of you! Okay, I've had enough of it. Where's my gun? Oh God, no time, can't re-equip, need to run, get to Grace, please, I'm just trying to be a good person, I'm sorry!
What?
Did they just beat me near death and abandon me in a graveyard to be devoured by a pack of wild dogs? Did you just beat me near death and abandon me in a graveyard to be devoured by a pack of wild dogs? Speaking of which, where the hell is my gun? Everything. Where the hell is my everything? All my weapons, all my food, all my medicine, oh dear God, all of my panaceas, They took everything. Just like they always do. I do not know if it's physically possible for me to be angrier than I find myself at this exact moment. Once more, I have been blackmailed, beaten, and broken inside this reason-forsaken cemetery, asking myself, what is this town's problem?
What?
Hi, Grace. Would you happen to have anything that might help? Here, a peach. I'm so sorry I let you die in my first Patho 2 run. You deserve better. Promise I'll save a schmatter for you this time. Everyone else dies screaming. I'm done. I am done. I am officially giving up on the idea that anyone here is deserving of better than a bullet. This place is an unholy nightmare. You know, I try to be a nice person. I try to resolve shit without resorting to violence, like an ethical human should. But nobody really wants me to have that option, huh? No one here likes me, and, to be frank, not many people left here that I like either. The Canes have completely lost it. Yulia tried to get me killed for research. The Stamatins' only goal at this point seems to be meeting the most spectacular end they can possibly find. Mark and his weird theater can eat a dick. Ava's fucking dead. Aspity called me an incel. I am beyond fed up. Go on a fun step vacation, they said. It's not that bad, they said. I swear, there is absolutely no way that anyone in this town is having a worse time than me. At least the surgeon and Spectre have friends. For that matter, at least the dead know peace. No, they don't. No one who would ever create a world like this would ever be that kind. This is hell, and we've all been made into each other's torturers. I will find whatever cruel god has done this to me, I will wrap my fingers around the throat of that omnipotent piece of shit, and I will make it answer for why it would give me the drive to help these people, to help anyone, while leaving me utterly powerless to ever be able to do a fucking thing. And then, no matter the answer, I will never forgive it. That's for later, though. In the meantime, I'm getting my shit back. You know, my only regret is that I have no way to make each of you suffer just 1/10 the amount of fucking pain that I've had to deal with this week. At least now, I finally won't have to be suffering alone. Hate this place. I hate everything about it. Hate everything it represents. Hate everything it does to people. I hate what it's done to me. Fucking hate it. But I'm still taking back what's mine. There. Now. Where the fuck is Andre? The bar! Of course he's at the bar! When has he ever not been at the bar? Now give me your goddamn blueprint so I can salvage the only thing here worth a damn. Thank you, eat shit. Now let's just get this over to the Inquisitor so we can call it a day. Letter. Why?
Invitation from the Kinds. The time has come. She is calling for you. If our hopes come true, the new mistress will return to the town, and in so doing, signify the end of the pestilence. We put our trust in you. We love you. N&S.
Cool. I have never been more terrified of a written declaration of love in my life. Let's go find out how they've decided to sacrifice me or whatever the hell they're planning. I hope whatever it is kills me forever.
You've written that the coming of a mistress will stop the pestilence. Why?
It won't stop it. It will herald it. You will be the one to stop the pestilence, Bachelor Dankovsky. Your path and Maria's run parallel for now, and close to each other too. One thing I know for sure. When a mistress comes, the filth will be gone from our lives. They're incompatible.
I want to see Maria. Why did she summon me?
My daughter had two final wishes. To talk to her mother, and to visit the other two Chrysales. She can do neither now. But she must see the future mistresses. They must acknowledge her.
Even after her soul has left her body, Maria is still sending me to run errands for her, I swear. Well, first mistress is definitely Capella, so... Hey kid, need one last favor. Can you please recognize Maria as a mistress? I know she's basically your mortal enemy and all, but we really need to make sure that... Wait, you actually will? What the hell, you hate Maria? And you're really not going to use this as a chance to blackmail me into doing something for you?
Look, this is simply insulting. Would I be worthy of being called a mistress in the future, if not right now, if I put my pride and my personal interests above the needs of a dying town? A mistress will bring our town back to life, so her coming is a blessing.
You know what? The kids are alright. Thanks for being one of the two decent people left, Capella. Now, feels like you'd be able to tell me who the second future mistress is. Bullshit. Bullshit. There's no fucking way your duplicitous shady ass is a mistress. But also, you know what? Fuck it. Who cares? Nothing's going to be left to govern before long anyways.
All of you are obsessed with murder and destruction. Why doesn't it occur to any of you that you can heal without cutting the sick parts off?
I have come to you on behalf of Maria Kana, Clara.
Is that all? Do you even understand that it will be hell? There will be a sorcerer queen. She'll remake everything living for the sake of her ideals and miracles. She'll build a living utopia, an insult to everything that brings men closer to Kingdom Come.
Do you acknowledge her?
Yes, take it. This is for the better. The ring will remind her of where the true power knot actually lies. The knot of live-bearing powers.
Oh, so you do know the protocol for inter-mistress relations. By the way, 2 days ago I received a little letter from you.
Saints and miracle workers are always covered in blood and filth.
Their acts are not necessarily comprehensible to the common folk, who expect kindness instead of good, and courtesy instead of love. This is not who I am. I know what will happen in 3 days. I will be able to avoid the contradictions that keep you and the Harrispecs in the dark.
What was it supposed to mean?
Take it at face value, Bachelor. Nothing has to be broken, believe me. This town is alive. As for you and the Harrispecs, you are demons. Deceived and truthless, your eyes are white, for you are blind. Your tongues are red, for your thirst for blood. Yourselves are invincible, for you are hollow. One of you wants to decapitate it, another to slice away its body.
And you?
And I will keep everything. Both of you are destined to fail. Both of you will ruin that which can live united. United tragically, but united still. Let them argue, let them deny one another, but that is exactly how it grows. This town is inconceivable without the tower. The tower is impossible without the town.
How are you going to keep it all? It's impossible.
True, it can only happen miraculously. You can't do that. Just trust me. That will be your miracle. Although Barak doesn't need that anymore. He's paid for his thickness in spades.
We'll see. Your letter was impressive. If I ever get out of here, I'm going to keep it as a memento of this trip.
And that's it. That's the last side quest to complete. Nothing left to do now but head back and... Oh god, please, not another letter. I was finally done! God damn it, god damn it! Oh, it's just Artemy.
I have news to share, Oinon. I found the thing that you were looking for the day before yesterday. Please avoid any rash decisions, at least until you've spoken to me. I've got good news and bad news for you, Oinon.
I'm listening.
You asked me to find out the exact location of the underground clot from which the sandpest bacteria could have gotten onto the surface.
Did I? I don't seem to remember doing this.
Is that so? I have already got used to the fact that Changeling can't remember what happened to her 5 minutes ago, let alone yesterday. But you didn't seem to have this problem before, Oinon. On the other hand, we're all exhausted.
Go on then. This information will be useful to me anyway. I've been tirelessly looking for the source all this time.
The thing is, it's everywhere. The deposits are sprawling beneath the whole town like kraken tentacles. They originate in the old cattle husbandry places on the other side of the Gorkin. The ground is soaked in it.
What's the good news then?
The good news is that the deposits lie very deep. They're covered by so many layers of solid soil that no bore well could ever reach them. An extremely deep hole would have to be drilled to puncture those clots and spill their contents into the groundwaters.
But it has already been spilled, as you can see. What are the abattoir's thoughts on the matter?
The abattoir's voice is my voice now, Oinon. And I'll tell you this. Oyun used to run things poorly. His bloodline was akin to mine, but he kept failing to learn the lines. He has committed numerous mistakes recently.
A bold hypothesis. What about now?
I suspect that he tried to bury the pest in the steppe not so long ago. I have no idea why. That was the greatest sacrilege, and my father tried to intervene. He went to the steppe to reinter this nightmarish burial ground. He must have burned it, but couldn't come out unscathed. You know how it went after that.
How probable is it that your father failed to destroy that?
I have other things on my mind now, Oinon. playing safe is pointless. I'm only thinking about mitigating the consequences of the disaster. I want the sandpest to be no more a threat to the local population than chickenpox is.
Yes, I see. Nevertheless, if it has already happened, the town will have to be destroyed. We cannot allow anyone to keep living here.
Wait, Oinon. Do not give out hasty orders. I swear to you, by tomorrow morning I'll find a way to produce so much medicine for the disease that there won't be a need to destroy it.
By destroying the tower, right?
Yes, but only if the people that need to be saved are alive. I've told you about them, remember? The kids that'll build a new town here in 10 years. A town even more beautiful than the current one.
Even more beautiful? This ugly hellhole feels as though it was specifically designed for artillery testing.
Hey, Daniel! I get it. I very, very much get it. But also, what the fuck? That said, sorry, Artemy. You're wrong. Congrats on that blood potion you made and all, but presuming you are right, that means that the land itself will always be a ticking time bomb, just waiting to unleash this pandemic all over again. And I don't think the 24 or so vials of panacea you've managed to make will be enough to keep the whole town afloat when everything goes tits up again. And you certainly won't have enough to keep it from spreading beyond. Sorry to say, but if you truly love this land, you're just going to have to find a piece of it that hasn't been rendered uninhabitable with years of blood sacrifice. Just a thought. All this talk of still saving the town like there's anything even left to save. I do not get some people. Speaking of which, I still have 2 more important women I need to talk to. Maria's not home, huh? Or is it Nina? Both? Whatever. Well, couldn't have gone far and wouldn't go anyplace frivolous at a time like this, so where could she... I know where she is.
Here are the signs of acknowledgement from Clara and Capella. They send their regards to you, Dark Mistress.
The Scarlet Mistress, but it matters not. So, if a miracle happens, if those who must remain alive by my design are still alive by tomorrow, if the merciless powers that be disregard us, like they used to, then we will be able to contest the ruthless law of existence. The dream will prevail. There will be a new utopia.
Why would anyone need a utopia? It's a chimera, nothing more.
Probably. But luckily for us, even the most well-adjusted mechanisms fail, and the 2 worlds do still touch sometimes. Antibodies collide, and then they go against the law of self-preservation, merging into a wonderful symbiosis rather than dying. This is the state of utopia, an earthly form of an unearthly miracle.
And so you have constructed this town. Is this what an embodied miracle looks like?
Yes, we have. We could have created a mind-boggling place of rock crystal, sapphire walls, emerald roofs, and ruby pavements. A place akin to those you're used to seeing in children's fairy tales about fair countries. But this place is inhabited by people of flesh and blood. Why are you so surprised?
Why the dirt and the pedestrianism? Why the disheveled walls, the rusty beams, the drain covers? Is this really what a utopia looks like?
Precisely. This is what differentiates a utopia from a dream. There is a top in utopia. But don't let the word deceive you. It's all about what's down below. It requires dirt. A ruby firmament needs something to sit atop, otherwise it'll topple. A utopia can appreciate the earthly and the humane in their raw homeliness. That is why we have the blood-stained abattoir, the rotten field, the dens, and earth, the collective name of the poorer districts itself.
Is that so?
A utopia needs the cult of bulls, a living echo of the time when the human and bestial worlds sung in unison. Beastliness lies at the heart of our civilization. Dirt, blood, manure, devourment, skins, meat, and bone tools. This is what the human civilization of creators originates from.
But how is it miraculous?
The Earth represents the miracle of the anthropophobic steppe merging with the human world. The settlement represents the miracle of turning a society of devourers into a society of creators. The very logic of this town's existence is a miracle in and of itself. When the process of its creation has reached a peak, the cathedral has been built. It's been a failure, though.
And then the polyhedron was created.
Yes, the tower on the other side has become the representation of the final metamorphosis, the miracle of merging the realm of possibilities with the realm of the impossible.
If it's all so perfect, why is there a plague?
I do not know, Daniel. It's not our fault. The town could not beat this tension, this head. Oh well, we shall restart it then. There is no death. We do not fear it. See, dead and incorporeal, I am still present, a restless soul destined to come back eternally.
I see. Now I understand. I've got the blueprint for the Foundation. Here it is. Take a look.
So the miraculous machine turned out to be a lever pumping poisonous organic matter from below the ground. How symbolic. There is a certain familiar logic to it. The general logic of the world's structure. Don't tell me you're surprised, bachelor.
But if the builders stirred the underground deposits when they installed the Foundation, why has the outbreak only happened now?
Because of the soil. I think this clot used to be a pit where the steppe people would bury the remains of slaughtered bulls. There are facts to support this. I suspect it was situated around about the cramp's point. The pressure was gradually increasing, perhaps the pintle was shifting, and then when it got to the clot...
Yes, sounds plausible.
We have found the source. I congratulate you on the victory, Daniel. Tomorrow is the last and the hardest day.
We have, but it's all very sudden. Somehow I can't shake the feeling you knew beforehand.
See you at the meeting at the headquarters tomorrow.
I'll come.
It's done. We're done. At long last. It all finally comes to an end. Tomorrow. We'll finally be able to eradicate this disease once and for all. Save the outside world from its horrors, and as a bonus, holy shit! Between Block and our stockpile of schmouters and panaceas, we might even be able to still save something here. Don't know about you, but I gave up on that days ago. Yet here we are, even after everything. There may actually be some survivors. Potentially. Provided everything goes well at the meeting. Claire's warning about the Inquisitor is still curious, though. And it's not like I haven't seen her be petty or vindictive. What am I talking about? There's a simple way to tell if Aglaia is acting out of spite. If she proposes destroying the tower. Had multiple separate sources now, including herself, make it crystal clear that all of this springs from the earth. The plague pulses beneath our feet with each step. It springs from below, not anywhere or anything else. After all we've learned, any other opinion is unquestionably a self-interested ploy or a denial of the reality we find ourselves in. Even setting aside my own opinion of the town itself, it's become clear that Peter's magnum opus is the only thing that is absolutely, without question, worth saving here, which we still can. Block will bombard anything we can't prove is safe, and this is the only thing to remain untouched. And plus, I mean, look at it! All this talk about this town being a miracle, but look at this thing! If it isn't magic, it might as well be. This structure is a triumph of not just engineering or science, but humanity at large. the intelligence, the mastery of skill, the resourcefulness, the relentless determination, the sheer imagination needed to make something as magnificent as this tower, it's a monument to everything worth loving about people. This is what all our pain and struggling are meant to culminate in. Peter, I get it. You wanted to make something meaningful, something eternal, something that would broaden the horizons of what we thought was possible, something that would help people. And it has. But what about me? Did I help here? Was this good? Was this helping? Did I make things better? Could I have ever made things better? This has to count for something, right? I didn't just waste all my fucking time here. There's no way my mere existence in this place just made things worse for everyone. Right? I'm still a doctor. Right? God knows I tried. You saw me. You all fucking saw me. I busted my ass every single day. Sacrificed food out of my own mouth. Compromised my morals and dignity. Gave literally everything I had to give, time and time again, to help how I could. And this is what we have to show for it. We slowed it. I think. We at least managed something. That's good. I should feel proud of that. Yeah? So then why do I just feel sick? Ugh. It doesn't matter. What's done is done. Whatever future this town may have, it will be dependent on the polyhedron. And hopefully that will be enough to create the utopia that the Kane seems so determined to see made manifest. It might not be much, but it's better than just turning all of this into a smoking crater. Even if that's what this town deserves. Plus, it's what she would have wanted. There's no way around it. This is the only choice. No matter what.
Whatever you do, you'll have to sacrifice something.
Destruction is inevitable. There's no miraculous way out.
So that's what their thought process is, see? There was nothing to hope for from the start. Each of them should simply fulfill their purpose. At least, we'll see which one works best.
Each of them wants to save that which is dear to them. Perhaps they could get along?
Out of the question. The meeting chamber is tight, with the general sitting at one side of the table and the Inquisitor sitting at the other. Only one of them will decide. The others will die.
Alright, let's finish this. I've got some people to heal.
Inquisitor's reminder. Tonight at 7, proceedings will be held in the town cathedral. I earnestly request your attendance. You will introduce your argument before this obtuse commander in order to substantiate our, I should hope, decision. I also ask you to put all your current affairs in order before the proceedings. The situation is at a stalemate. Whatever authority I wield is not enough to guarantee that the right decision is enforced. Postscript. I rely upon your discretion, as well as your decency.
You saved my life, dear doctor. Thank you. My life is crucial to feeding another one. Do not rebuke me for my untimely selfishness. I'll have a chance to put it to good use in the near future.
What are you going to do with your life, Judge? Tell me.
I've already done what I wanted. My life expectancy was low anyway. Why should I stretch my last days, accumulate diseases, and grow to become a burden for my relatives? No. The best thing I can do now is give way to my niece.
What burden do you bear, Judge?
It is a joyful burden. By taking it in, I finally found everything I used to be lacking, everything I was so jealous of in my brother. But, yes, now it's become obvious to me how much fuel these qualities require. It costs me as much energy as a week of concentration to even think about them.
How long will you last, Judge?
Not much, but I do not need much. Pretty soon the spirit will find a more worthy vessel in this old body.
What about your spirit? What happens to you, Judge?
I wouldn't have lived to see today if not for you. Now, if my design works, I will be able to revive the town. I am grateful to you, my love. I'll never forget.
What are you planning to do?
The polyhedron will become for the new town what the abattoir used to be for the old one. A hub, a nursing organ, a source of vital power, and the origin of its history.
Isn't it too fragile to become a foundation?
It's a prism. It will refract sun rays, focusing them and inseminating the other bank of the river with its blessed warmth. It will be all about the solar cycle. The spots will shift and move following the laws of every calendar.
Are you going to remove the children from the polyhedron? What will happen to it?
The polyhedron, the beginning and the starting point of the new town, can accumulate childhood and its own magic. Roots, space, and structures that will stretch from the polyhedron will be able to ignite other flames in people who have left the tower.
Can it all be truly possible? Can you really do it?
I am not alone. Moreover, I am not showing you my real power. You're leaving today, aren't you? So remember me for who I was. Remember me not as the Scarlet Mistress able to grab your life, ignite you, and drag your whole being along, but as a girl with her life hanging by a thread.
Don't forget that your destiny hasn't been determined yet. It is still hanging by a thread.
A letter from the powers that be. Bachelor, we thought we should write because you don't seem to be listening to what we're telling you. You've gotten out of hand. As of late, you keep doing whatever you please. This is unacceptable. You are spoiling the game. If this letter reaches you in good time, do come to the polyhedron. They will let you inside. Keep your eyes tightly closed, descend to the bottom, and say 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes. We'd like to have a little chat with you. Yours sincerely, the people who own you.
Hey, look, it's Bachelor. Wow, he's so big. How did you find us? They've already told you, right?
So the powers that be are you. I want you to tell me everything.
No problem. What do you want to know?
Show me your sandbox.
Look, it's a magic sandbox. See how it reflects in the mirrors? It's because everything's for real there. Here's a town. We made it out of sand. And there's this awful thing going on there. An epidemic! So it's all crumbling. The town is falling apart. But we've sent heroes there to fix it.
So, how did you go about sending the heroes?
It's rotting, see? Ew. We'd hoped they'd think of something. Mire it in sand at least. They're magical too, you know. The heroes are. Take you, for example. Look how it all worked out. You used to be a doll and now you're alive. Perhaps the rest also work like this?
Did you know those dolls were alive?
Everything is alive around here. It's the structure. It brings things to life. It's not like we're twisting anyone's arm. It just happens, all on its own. We only built the town, and then it became miraculous all on its own. And the dolls, we just stuck the throwaway ones in. They were lame anyway. Oops, sorry.
Just don't you dare crush anything here. I'll try to fix it.
Don't be upset. Being a toy is also nice.
But why did you play it like this? Why couldn't you have chosen a different game? Like tag or something? Huh?
'Cause we've been to a funeral. They've been sending us out to the garden for 10 days in a row so we wouldn't get in anyone's way. They've been taking us to the cemetery for a week now, Bachelor. And if you keep being naughty, I'll take you with me next time and leave among the wreaths so that you know better.
So, who died on you?
No one did. No one ever does. Why is he asking about it?
Hush, hush. No need to cry. Oh, come on. Indeed, it was a sandbox plague. The children who were playing there must have been on their way home from the funeral. The sorrowful game may have seemed an appropriate diversion to them, or maybe they simply felt their childhood was slipping away. One way or another, the hero has been bitterly deceived. All this time, the hero took himself to be a living man who was trying to rescue his fellow human beings. Beyond doubt, this belief has filled him with fervour, helped him to reach the finale, and even be, somewhat, triumphant. In vain. It was all in vain. The hero was but a puppet, striving to help the imaginary population of a town that was nothing more than a drawing. Strangely, there is still not a word to be heard from the powers that be. Perhaps they became bored of it all, or were called back home for supper.
Please do come by to meet us at the theater if you have a spare minute. We'd like to have a rather inconsequential but mature talk with you. We apologize in advance for the inconvenience. The people who executed the whole thing. Come in. They're waiting for you.
Take my coat and my bag.
The hero is a doll, but so are the children. The real game is what's happening between you and us.
I cannot leave Bachelor's body. You are imposing your limits upon me.
Bachelor lost his battle for freedom since the very day he was born. What about you?
I wanted to stop the epidemic. Even a make-believe one.
But did you understand what the epidemic really was? It was truly rather obvious.
Yeah, governmental inaction. Everyone just sat by trying to use the plague as a means to build their own political power while leaving normal people to suffer a slow and painful death by apathy.
Look, I get what you're saying and all, but that's not your line. Please stick to the canon script so that I may do likewise.
I know now that it was all a children's game in a glass sandbox. But what for?
Was the disease the true evil, though? The disease is only a method, the weapon of evil, just like a scalpel in Bachelor's hand. The disease will go, devouring itself. Then there will be war, famine, heresy. Was it really worth all the effort? Look around.
All this for a single wretched town.
No, it was a town that had been built for you, not the other way around. We apologize if it's been a disappointment.
So you're curious as to what fate I will choose for the town?
We have to make sure that it is truly you who is making the decision. Are you absolutely positive that your choice is not predetermined by anyone or anything?
Could it have been otherwise?
Oh, absolutely. When every step you take has been predicted, you are still free to either take it or not. When it has been foreseen, however, you remain a mere puppet in someone else's hands.
Being my puppeteer is way too good a position for you.
You see how sad our fortune is. We put all our hopes in you. We, poor actors, were hoping you'd become the director of a new show. The old one has been beaten to death, but you turned out to be a doll.
But I am not a doll.
Did I hear you right? Who is it speaking?
It's me, the player.
Oh, then I apologize profusely. You are definitely not a doll. But that seems to be unhelpful for our hero now. He is humiliated, crushed, but most importantly, he is deprived of the power that we have all hoped for. By the way, are you still willing to take responsibility for him?
Yes. He is my responsibility. I will stay with him to the very end. His words shall be my words. His deeds shall be my deeds.
Oh, then I apologize once again. Perhaps not all is lost yet. Let's wait for the finale and see if the day brings any surprises. We still have a chance to play in a drama with an unpredictable story.
Watch me act. I'm glad I played this game. It's meant a lot to me. Especially after, well, you know, everything in real life. I'm glad I made this video too. This was a lot, obviously, in a variety of ways, and I am just as exhausted as Daniel. But it was special. Life-changing, even. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, you. The person watching this right now. In your chair, on your bed, on your couch, on the bus, train, whatever. You. Sincerely. You've made it this far and chosen to spend quite a bit of your very valuable time with me. I don't take that for granted. So I pray it was at least a little special for you too. Thank you for taking the time to watch, this video essay about a 15-year-old game on YouTube.com. 'Cause that is all this ever was, after all. Of course. Yeah. I'm so fucking stupid, dude. What the fuck? Now, what to do, whatever shall we do? No, the devs don't want me to act on impulse and run towards whatever predetermined choice is right in front of me. And the Bachelor's ending is just an absolutely terrible idea. Like, transparently so, right? But I guess I got my own performance to think about. Now don't I? As I've been saying from the beginning, gotta commit to the role. Plus I did promise the tragedy, and so, think it may be best if I leave the rest in your hands. Go get your ending, buddy. We've earned it.
Yeah, of course, go ahead. I'll see you backstage.
Thanks, dude. Good luck. See you after the fireworks. Enjoy what winning apparently looks like.
It's Pathologic. The only winning move is not to play.
I knew you would arrive.
When will you begin to execute your design, Maria?
I have already begun, my Daniel. When the night falls, and the wind scatters the smoke above the scorched earth, and the dust of the building demolished settles, you will see several new constellations light up in the sky. They will plunge their light towards us, and when the first specks of this light reach the constellations of the polyhedron, a miracle will happen.
What will they be like? How are you going to call them?
I'll see, but I expect them to be mostly red. Ruby, scarlet, crimson, carmine, merlot, mahogany, vermilion, garnet, rose, pink, burgundy. Perhaps you may even notice something familiar in the structures of these constellations.
Where will these constellations come from?
They have existed for a long time already. People just couldn't see them before because their light was hurrying towards us from far beyond. Now the first rays of these stars are about to reach our surfaces. We will see their light reflected in the specular planes of the preserved polyhedron.
Why are you here, Maria?
You ask strange questions. Don't you see that this is my town now? I am the power here. I am the mother, and since I am to give birth to a new town, I want to witness the demise of the old one. This is my duty. I am the last of the games.
Have you become a mistress already?
No, I haven't. You won't see it here. Unless you're planning to stay, of course.
I won't. I'll leave the town on the military train at dawn.
I am indeed powerless, as you can see. I'm accused of having arranged your discovery. I've lost my vote of confidence. So tell them whose discovery it is, for the laurels are yours. Are you in doubt?
Your diabolical deception was so simple. The cause and the source. It's so easy to put these very different things together, Inquisitor, but they are not the same.
In this case, they are. It's strange that you have failed to see that. This place is a utopia. That is an abuse of nature. The utopia must be destroyed. It is evil.
What is a utopia, Aglaia? Let's talk for the last time. What is provoking your hatred so much?
Utopias are usually constructed to embody perfect justice, liberty, or economical thrift. This one, however, is different. This town is not a place that does not exist. It's a place that cannot exist, mustn't exist. Here's where the cause and the source are the same.
Do elaborate on that, please. I'm still failing to understand where you see the root of all evil.
Our country holds the absolute record on experimental utopia designs, and this is a feature that should be interpreted as its absolute virtue. Social masterpieces are rare, but they do happen, and they don't have to be accidental.
Indeed.
However, somehow, they never seem to live too long. Now, at the dawn of the current century, there are almost none left. One gets the impression that there is no country that would imbue its inhabitants with the inner force simply because they happen to inhabit it. There have been examples of this, but they've all been destroyed. Why?
I do not know.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. A wonderful town is suddenly beginning to die. No one knows why. Why this one? The one that has managed to produce a wonder. The most curious, the most mysterious, inhabited by the most talented people? What did they do to deserve this? I'll tell you.
I already know what you're about to say.
At the persistent pleasure of the capricious powers that be, the miracle that has been accidentally embodied as the polyhedron is forced to stay there, captured by the flesh of the town that has nurtured it, feeding it with resources, people, and hot blood. This flesh has become its womb and its prison.
You're being too metaphoric. What does that have to do with my choice and the epidemic?
Enslaved miracles die not out of anyone's malice. That's just their nature. You can't hold a miracle with your bare hands. You can only look at its corpse. This idea is not new. Let's have a closer look at the disease, the embodiment of this logic. Is it good or evil? Why has it come to the town?
Do you consider it to be good?
Why did you come to the town at the same time, then? You are, by all definitions, a hero. A miracle maker, almost. It was the powers that be that have tried to make you detain a miracle here, not the poor, obsessed Canes. They've only played their part. They represent their own force, but you... Do you really want to go back to being a slave? The powers that be are bending you to submission according to their own design!
You are obsessed with revenge, Aglaia. Revenge is a bad companion in search of the truth.
Then tell him, Daniel! There he stands, waiting for your word. A puppet, just like... Guide his weapons. No one has heard a single word of recommendation from me yet. I'm relying on you completely, just like I said. And heed my warnings.
I remember everything we talked about. Be silent.
So, Bachelor, it was neither greed, nor plotting, nor circumstance that has informed your choice, but your conscience alone. I have been given orders to level everything here, but if that is not necessary, I am willing to trust your judgment, risking my life and honor, for I am merciful. Where shall I point the weapon?
Let the settlement be destroyed, but there's no reason to hurt the polyhedron. The survivors will find shelter there until we vaccinate them and the epidemic dies out.
So you think the town is doomed?
I do. The soil underneath it is soaked with poison. We're very lucky that the ground here is so fastidious. Plow every inch of it up with shells, shake it, and pull its rocks out, split it into cracks so that no one would ever dare re-inhabit this land. This side of the river is uninhabitable.
I see. And you believe that the tower will make it through the bombardment despite its base being so thin?
Yes. The tower must keep its balance. I've studied its structure, and I'm inclined to believe it's rather earthquake-resistant. It's like a weight on a steel spring. If no shell explodes on the opposite bank of the river, the polyhedron will remain intact.
Shells will only fall where I point them to fall.
Let it be so, then.
Here you are. I've got everything I ever wanted now.
You are very beautiful. So lifelike. But you're incorporeal, aren't you?
But now I can fly. A miracle happened. All I had to do was strain my legs a bit and fly. It's just that I had to abandon my body not to go down. Otherwise, I would have fallen.
So you have breathed life into this cathedral. Do not grieve, Eva. You have not died in vain.
You are the only one who could have said this. I knew you'd be the only one to believe in my miracle. Because you're special. You wouldn't judge me too harshly. You're not really picky. And you're free from religious dogmas. Do you acknowledge my miracle?
Yes, I do. But why are you shivering? Is there something depressing you?
Can you hear a whisper beneath the dome? They're speaking to me, but I cannot make out their tongue. I was a slow learner, but I can feel the tone. They're threatening and condemning me.
I hear